Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to Dire Roll Neosoma. Hit the pause button on that. And, oh, I don't want that running. That's probably what's making us lag. We've got another session coming at you. However, unfortunately, the wonderful player who plays Chuck, who we know as Molly, she is MIA, as it says on the little panel there. Right there. However, we're going to push on without her. It'll just be the men's. So it's gonna be lacking.
A sausage fest.
All right, well, make it weird. All right.
And good night.
Last session. I think Bill shut up. I can't confirm that. You guys were looking for Becky
with the good hair. Debbie.
Yes, it's Debbie.
Debbie Shane.
This is probably a good time to open my notes. You guys are looking for Debbie Shane. Good, you remember. See? I was testing y'all and y'all passed. In order to convince the populace of the Illinois Energy Barony to follow McQuaid, who is the named Baron of this barony, who doesn't like that title, but he goes with it anyway.
But he is not named Dennis.
Nope, he's not named Dennis McQuaid. Has no relation to, in fact. Thanks for derailing me. Where was? Oh, it's to attack the Chicago Isles, because you guys want to rescue your compatriots. Mainly Flip, but you know the rest of them too. And things got quite heated last week because there was a lot of infighting going on. Because, well, I think we all know why. It's because Roy's an asshole.
Let's look deeper than that, shall we?
He's a pyromaniac. He's a pyromaniac.
Well, there was a bonfire of portrayal lit. And words were said, and then also you guys ran into the insidious JCC, and one of them, a sniper by the name of Booth, hunted you guys down and shot the crap out of Roy and Chuck. And Big Joe and Hector chased him down, and Big Joe was about to end him, but Hector talked him out of it. And it was concluding with you guys kind of recovering from that encounter. And Big Joe stepped aside to kind of have some moments to himself. And the burning embers of the now put out bonfire of betrayal spoke to him and referred to him by his real name, which none of us know. And
not yet, at least.
It was the face of a colrathi. And the colrathi are extremely powerful, tyrannical, dictator-like entities from the other world, which is where Big Joe is from. And that was where we ended the session. So we're going to begin with everybody but Big Joe. Just moments later, really. You guys are finishing up whatever bickering you are doing. When suddenly, who's on watch? I think Hector, you were on watch? No, you were patching everybody up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Bill.
Yeah, I'd probably be on watch.
You spot a lone individual. You can tell by his garb that he doesn't look like one of the JCC, because he doesn't look like he's right out of Mad Max. And he's limping towards you guys.
Bill's still gonna point the M1 Garand in his general direction, not quite menacingly, but just saying be careful, I got a gun, essentially showing his gun. And he's gonna say, who are you?
He's obviously sees you because he raises his hands, and in his right hand he has an under-over double-barreled shotgun. But he's holding it, by the barrel grip.
Barrel grip.
Yeah. And he in a non-ready fashion, and he's kind of holding it up, and you guys can see him kind of sway on his feet. Like, the simple act of stopping and remaining still is almost too much for him. And I think you guys can relate.
Hell yeah. Am I done patching up the others?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna, with my gun slung over my shoulder, I'm gonna approach Bill and I'm gonna approach the guy.
Okay, and Roy
That's
dropped.
big.
All right, well, while we wait for him to get back, we should actually take a moment here. I'll go ahead and move over to the game. Oh, he's back. Okay. I need to move you guys over to the game screen. Let's go ahead and quickly, because I forgot, talk about character changes. I believe, unless you guys skipped your homework, some of you have changed aspects.
I couldn't do it in the end. I mean, I'm too indecisive. I think I might get to the point where I use those I wanted to replace.
So no one.
I also, I kind of have been thinking about it for a week because I was going to add Big Joe's 5th, but I didn't know how to properly word it.
All right, that's fair. Remember, if you have a slot open for your stunts, or if you have a slot open for your aspects, you can add those at any point during play. So if you come up with it today, just slot it in and let me know.
Sweet.
So no one made any aspect changes, even though that was a big discussion after the session?
I'm kind of relying on spur of the moment.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
Roy wouldn't have changed anything because he's not wrong.
Not aspect changes, but I took a deceive at average. Just
right, because they also had another significant milestone which let them either at this point either add a new +1 or bump a +1 to a +2. So let's get back on track with the narrative here. So I think Hector, you were approaching him.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna extend my hands towards him. I'm gonna tell him like, "Are you friend of the barony? What are you doing here? Are you a hunter?"
You can see he's struggling to keep his eyes open. He's like, yeah, I'm with the barony. And now that you're kind of closing the distance between him, you can see that his entire right hand side, starting from maybe chest level down, is covered in blood.
Holster that gun. I'm gonna take care of you, son.
He just kind of like gently drops it. You know, he doesn't just drop it from up high. He brings it down and then drops it onto the ground.
At this point, Bill will stop aiming in that general direction and just kind of overwatch in case there's, whatever made him bleed. We don't know the situation, so I'm overwatching.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna support the kid. I'm gonna bring him to our camp, and I'm gonna ask him if he was with anybody else.
He kind of slumps down, and you start investigating towards his flank region, and he says, "Yeah, I'm a hunter for the barony."
Were you with Debbie Shane's group?
Yeah, I mean, I saw her. And that's how I got shot. The JCC took her. And I was headed back to the barony to tell everybody, but, yeah, I think I've lost a lot of blood.
Yep. Lie down, son. I'm gonna take care of that, and stay with me. I'm gonna start treating him.
Okay, go ahead and give me a lore check. Difficulty 2. I know,
Hopefully. Wait up. Should have opened my sheet.
Cool.
Alright, that's
a success.
Alright, I'm gonna get the bullet out, cauterize the wound. I'm gonna bandage it.
You cauterize it?
As I can.
Okay, he's just like, ow! Ah!
Yeah, sorry. We have to go through that. It's better. You're tough. You didn't pass out.
Well, thanks. I wish I did.
And I wish I had orange juice to give you right now, but here, take a sip of water.
Thank you. He takes a big draught and then hands the canteen back to you.
Good news is
that's
you'll
not
survive.
Water, that's vodka, man.
Oh, my bad. Hector wouldn't do this mistake.
Right? No, that was Wouldn't worry about it. All right. So you kind of walk him back to where everybody else is.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him regain his senses. Like, give him a 5 minutes. I'm gonna go to Roy and the others. Like, he knows what happened to Debbie Shane, and it doesn't look good so far. We're gonna have to brush against the JCC again.
Oh, was that you
Well-
guys? I've been hearing gunshots all day.
Did we fire all day? Like, was it us? I'm not sure.
You had 2 separate firefights today, so
That's right. That's right. It might have been us, indeed.
it's rare that someone brushes up against the JCC and, you know, well, is here.
Out of character, we should say JCC as much as possible to give Vegas arm pain at some point. Okay, back in character. Bill is gonna approach Hector, and well, if Roy is there as well, like, he's just gonna kind of do a quick "come over here, guys," and I'm gonna simply say like, he doesn't look like he's from the JCC, but we should still be careful because we don't know, we can't prove what he's saying.
When I gave him a look over, did he look like he had the health characteristics of cannibals, like pale skin and I don't know?
No, nothing screamed cannibal.
I'm simply gonna tell Bill that I do not think he's with them, quite honestly.
Well, I don't mind going with what the party feels like, and he sure doesn't look like one of them. Odds are, benefit of the doubt, he's not one of them, but let's just be careful anyway. If he leads us anywhere, let's still be cautious.
Alright, and at that point, Big Joe comes over from his solitude. He seems pensive.
True story.
We all seem pensive, I think, at this point. We're
That's
like,
your resting state. Except for Roy. Roy is always right.
Well, Roy is both right and unconscious.
Oh,
and
right.
probably hemorrhaging, yeah.
Some doctor.
Who is this person?
I'm Dave. You're big.
Yep. You're not with them JCC folks, are you?
Nope. The meat I eat walks on 4 legs.
Oh, okay. You could say you eat babies, I guess. But anyways,
He just looks at you like, what? It's a Joe Light snack. Just.
yeah, it's their version of veal.
Jesus.
Okay. So why are you here?
Because you didn't look like you would kill me.
And he kind of leans in. You never know with these folks.
He's just like looking at you like, well, you're, an expression that says, hey man, you're the Joe Light. But,
Mm-hmm. All right. So if you're not with the JCC, are you with the barony?
Yeah. Yeah, I told your cruel doctor friend over there.
Oh, well, okay. Just before I ask any more questions that y'all have answered or covered, anything that you should want to tell me?
Well, Bill's gonna repeat what he said to Big Joe and say, well, according to him, he saw Debbie Shane on his way back to the barony, and turns out she would be taken by the JCC, which means we're not out of the water.
Okay. It is not looking good for us. Most of us are as messed up as this gentleman here is, and is getting Debbie Shane a big priority of ours? I mean, I know we want the flying, not monster things, to be on our side, but
I do feel like this has gotten bigger than us.
Yeah, we might need some reinforcement here to take over the. Well, not take over, but at least have any chance of rescuing Debbie Jane, and that's assuming they even want to. I guess the safest thing we could do right now is go back and. Worst case scenario, they just say we let it go and we can try to find another way to save our people. Or best case scenario, they say we need Debbie Shanes if she's still alive, and they give us support, resource, a chance to rest, and then we go back, but with more than just us.
We need their help to rescue our friends against Duotua and maybe Calre even. Maybe we can help them rescuing their friends from cannibals first. And then. But one thing is sure, we need their help, no matter.
Both Roa and Chuck are unconscious, so I definitely think returning to the barony is probably our best idea. So let's do that. I know Roa is normally the one in charge, but he is not with us right now. And
What do you mean? He's in the best shape he's ever been. He hasn't done any rash decisions since he got shot.
Damn.
It tracks.
Well, at this point, Hector's gonna agree, and he's gonna start loading his patients into the trucks as comfortably as he can, and he's gonna go up to Big Joe. He's gonna tap him on behind the knee and ask him if are you sure you're up for the run to the barrel?
No, I am not. I'm hoping that we do not move so fast where I have to run. I can barely walk right now, so if we could just limp there, that would be fine.
I will go slow. I will set the pace. All right. Follow up.
Don't forget your instrument. We paid a bike for it.
True enough. And he'll pick up. Is it like Jolite size?
Yeah.
The jawbone.
It's a Jolite-sized jawbone.
Okay.
You guys also notice that at some point during all the commotion, that amp they loaned to you guys, it's gone.
The what? Sorry.
The music amplifier that we had.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, at this point, Bill is like, whatever. They probably came in and completely disconstructed it while shots were being.
I'm gonna stop at the bike. I'm gonna drain the fuel out of the tank if there's any left.
There's no bike left.
Yeah, we have one.
Oh, you have one bike.
Yeah, we have
the
one.
motorcycle. Okay. Booth's motorcycle.
Oh, Booth's bike.
That's
Did you
the
guys
one I
find
meant.
Booth's bike?
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was-
that's right. I remember. I'm sorry. I'm on track.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna leave slowly
You get the fuel out of it.
to the barrel. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. We do a swipe transition.
So
you guys arriving at the barony, and it is just after dusk when you guys get back. The barony has a lot of torchlight all scattered about their caravan, their gypsy setup kind of going on. It seems far more quiet than when you first arrived during the day, but you do spot at least a dozen, just within your field of view, armed watchmen who are standing on top of vehicles. Some of them have lawn chairs and their shotguns in their laps, but they're not taking any chances. And as you guys approach, one of them kind of waves you in because your vehicle is recognized.
That seems like it is.
And your Jolite is recognized. Sorry, I had to put that in.
No problem. But that looked like a heavier guard force than we've seen the first time we came in, right?
When you came in, you didn't identify any guards. I mean, you saw a few armed men who probably could be guards, but there was, the whole everyone in the convoy was hustling and bustling, going about their daily routine. So this is all you see are armed guards, basically.
Okay, so I cannot infer that they are in a state of emergency just from
right. This could just be standard procedure. This
is
your first time seeing them at night, so.
Well, we'll enter the perimeter, and we're probably gonna go to the doctor first to dump the hunter and our friends.
Yeah, so I guess we'll kind of do a montage of Hector and the doctor treating the wounded. And so anyone who's got physical consequences, who's I think everyone,
Yes.
let's go ahead and do some rolls. We're gonna do recovery actions here. And everyone's gonna get a +1 because everybody's getting help from either Hector, the doctor, or both. Oof, what's the skill? Probably
Physique.
taking physique? I need to actually look at it. If you can justify it to me, you can use it. I think lore and physique are gonna be the best options though.
I'll use crafts because I'm secretly a robot.
I was gonna try to argue for athletics as well, because depending on which physical attributes you develop between muscle or agility, I think athletics could still count. The reason being I argue for athletics is because if you make me roll physique, I'm never gonna heal.
I think I could justify athletics. So
Good
the difficulty of these rolls equals the level of the severity.
Severity?
Yeah.
So moderate is +2.
No.
Moderate
Mild
is
is
two, difficult-
+2. Moderate is +4. Severe is +6.
Fuck. +4. I think I can beat it. Do we roll now?
Everyone can roll, but pause.
Pause.
Hector, given that your character is a doctor, you can choose one of your teammates and make a lore check for them for one specific injury.
Okay, and this be since it's a montage, it's like a scene,
Yeah.
and I have a stunt that allows me to give +2 to a roll.
You can use that. So you pick one of your friends and say, I'm gonna roll for this instead of you, and then you make your lore roll.
Big Joe has better physique. He can succeed on his own. Same thing for Roy. I would give it to Chuck, but he's absent. But I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna do Chuck because I remember it being pretty severe.
Yeah, his left arm is crippled, so.
Okay, yeah. So that's gonna be a roll.
And just like everybody else, you too will get a +1 because the other doctor.
So I'm gonna roll it right now, and
Oof.
I'm gonna add my +2. That's a 3, and I'm probably gonna use it.
Well, that's 4. Yeah.
Because I used to be a lab tech, so I know how to disinfect instruments and create the right conditions for his wound.
Okay.
To clean, to heal. So that's gonna be +4.
Yeah. All right. Everybody else, you guys want to roll because I want to quickly kind of.
I'll go ahead and roll my physique now. Oh wait.
Hold on.
I rolled mine and I had a 0, so I'm not gonna heal my moderate wound, which was a +4.
I kind of want to re-roll this because I kind of want to start healing. Can I call onto the dangerous road? We've been hurt before. It's not the first time things go bad. This one might be worse, but
yeah, you can use that.
There you go.
There you go.
So 7 total on a moderate.
Okay.
All right.
Do I reduce?
7 total on a moderate. That means you succeeded with style. So you're going to rename it something to indicate that it's been treated, and you are going to reduce it.
Now, you said you would accept athletics, but given Roy's condition, I don't think his training in athletics is going to help. This is just pure body trying to help, so I'm going to roll physique. Physique, I got a 2, which is a 3, and I'm trying to heal a severe. That's crap.
Oh, hey, there's a bunch of fate tokens to me. I scoot those on down.
I'm gonna I'm going to take my shots and drop a fate token on former minor league baseball player. He has been injured before, and his body is used to kind of recouping quickly.
And you don't
to
want to
get
get out
back
for the
into-
season. Got it.
Yeah. So, and we're gonna do a reroll on that.
That's
That's
a 5.
still 1 short.
Technically 2. Technically.
What? Why
Because
is
if you
that
tie
technically?
it, you can succeed at
tie.
cost.
Oh, yeah.
Hector, you succeeded on a cost for Chuck. So I was actually going to make your cost. You didn't have time, or you didn't have enough time to kind of rest yourself.
I did have +1. I mean,
Well, even with
Or
the +1,
was
I
I
think
flush?
you'd hit 6. Oh no, you got a 4
oh,
+2 from your feet, from your yeah, and then +1. Okay, no, you were right. Yeah, you beat it by. Yep, you're good. Granted, you rolled a
just
0.
a success. Yeah.
Shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and. Should I just take it? I don't want to take it.
You got to use
But
that
maybe-
loaded for bear. You got to use that loaded
maybe
for bear.
I-
Plug it with bullets.
Plug it with
So I
bullets.
didn't-
That's not how that works. Damn it.
I have
let-
a question about the rules.
Hang on,
if
hang on,
I
hang on.
had
This might help.
Yeah. What do we?
This new scene aspect is under the doc's care.
Oh, yeah. I'll go ahead and spend a token for that situational
Actually, hang
aspect.
on.
Oh.
Slight clerical error. There we go. There's 2 dogs.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right, and I'll take a +2 on it. So
Okay, so you succeeded. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna rename it to represent that that's been treated, and then after a requisite time, probably be next session, it'll downgrade.
all right, so punctured lung. What do I rename that to? Breathing easier.
plugged lungs. No,
Plugged lungs?
Just kidding.
I think that means he's dead.
Oh,
A deep breath.
No longer drowning in my own bodily fluids.
Bit long.
Um,
Well, while you're thinking of that, Big Joe, did you want to do one? I didn't see your roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna. Big Joe's gonna try and heal himself with some magic. Also, I think you should name it "I Can Breathe Clearly" now.
oh, yes.
Oh, that's not from the era, so never mind.
You know what?
But yeah,
I'll allow it.
Okay. It's just too good.
It's too good.
I'm gonna try. Big Joe's gonna try and use some magic. He doesn't really use magic in this way, but he's gonna try anyways.
Since this is a
So-
montage, you don't need to make an aspect. You can just roll magic.
Yo, just briefly, it is now renamed I Can Breathe Clearly Now, parentheses, the pain is gone, close
Yes!
parentheses.
So you're at a 6. So you could succeed at a cost.
No, that's including the +1 from the doctor already.
Oh, how'd you do that? You crafty bastard, you.
Up above where your skills are, there's like roll 4DF, 4DF plus, roll 4DF plus skill only, roll 4DF plus skill plus modifiers, and
There you
stuff
go.
like that. So I
Cool.
just choose the modifier one.
All right.
Neat.
The more you know.
Don't worry, guys. I got some compels.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Guys, can we agree to keep 1 token at all times to counter Jaken's compel?
I'm gonna hard veto that.
Oh, I did want to change one of my aspects. Damn
I do
it.
need to take my 1 out because we have 1 player absente.
I wanted to change one of my
Essentially.
aspect to immune to asshole-inducing compels.
I want to compel that.
All right. I'll spend the fate token to invoke under the doc's care, and
There you go.
get just a +2 to get me to 7, which is good enough for my hamstrung to get changed.
Good enough for contract work.
Yep. To walk it off.
All right. Are there any other consequences that anyone wants to make rolls on?
Yes.
Since we're in a new wave, Hector, you can treat somebody else if you want.
I am still kneecapped.
Big oof.
I think I'm gonna help that.
Okay.
Can I just give a +2 with my stunt instead of rolling in his stead?
No, you need to roll in his stead. That's how the stunt works.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
What is your physique normally? +3?
My physique is +2.
Okay, so it's like lower, and
Yeah.
with my stunt it's 4.
+1 from the other doctor is a 5, and this is a moderate.
This is moderate, yeah.
So there you go. Rename it.
So that's enough.
All right.
Jacob,
Yes.
I managed to change one of my aspects I didn't like. So shifting from strategy, I felt it was a bit too hard whenever we compelled it. Made my character like try to ignore something that was so obvious I didn't like it. So I changed it to expecting the worst at any. Goes with sarcastic pretty well, I feel.
Can I retry healing the same? I can't, right?
No, you can. You can try your own.
Alright, I'm gonna try again.
I'm gonna rename this.
That's a 4. It was a moderate wound. It already was treated.
It was already treated.
It was already healed.
Right, downgrade it to minor.
So I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna rename the Russian Cravat to stylish.
If it was already treated, you should have renamed it already, though.
Oh, I hadn't. So it's. Alright, that's done.
Wait, Joe, what did you rename yours to?
Walked it off.
Damn it. Okay.
Why? If you have a better one, I'm 100% down to change.
No, I was just thinking, I should do walk it off or kneecap. Wait, no, I think that's what Joe did.
Why don't you rename it Former Adventurer?
Okay.
Oh.
Yep, done.
See, I had something similar, but instead of former, it's now I'm a adventurer. Or adventuring again.
I used to be a minor league baseball player.
Until I got kneecapped. I like how we wrote that in, but we've just been talking like, playing your character normally, even though like he's got like a 9mm hole in his kneecap.
Yeah.
Big oof. All right.
Yeah.
So the next morning, is everybody done? We got every consequence has been rolled upon.
Yes,
Mine
I
have.
believe so.
All right, the new scene aspect is Daunting Dawn. It is dawn. Your characters have slept off whatever treatment you guys got. And it is the new morning. And you guys all gather around this kind of picnic area where they have this area where they kind of serve breakfast. And you guys are served a nice protein-filled meal. And while you guys are sitting down and eating, everyone's in chairs except for Big Joe, who's Indian style next to everybody. It's obvious you guys need to discuss what you guys are going to do about this whole situation. And to that end, I have a pair of compels.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Everybody has token, we're fine.
I got
much suspense.
my boy Roy here. Captain Action.
Okay.
The compel is that you just want to storm that crap, save Debbie, and then expedite.
Exit. Stage left, even.
No, stage right. Gotta be stage right.
Okay.
All right. In contrast, I compel Big Joe.
Damn it!
Big Joe, I am going to compel your freethinkers are dangerous. That maybe Big Joe has a different view on the morality of cannibalism than everyone else, and he thinks instead of making yet another enemy, And this is where his free thinkers are dangerous is coming in. What if you can make the JCC an ally against the Dutuoa of Chicago Isles?
Damn it, that's really good.
Yeah, that is really good.
While he dwells on that, I'm gonna check everybody else to see if I got anything else locked and loaded.
No, please don't.
I don't think I can. I mean, that basically, I'm setting the tone of this debate here.
Hey, Jake,
Hey, me.
my fifth aspect will be no, please don't.
I like my my new aspect to be make it stop.
Man, this is a tough one. I don't know if I want to accept it or not. It's really good, but given what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z,
The best compels are the ones where you don't know if you want to take them or not.
22 and a half minutes of exposition and 30 seconds of fighting?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
3
all right.
episodes of
I'm down. Let's go for it.
All right.
I'll take it.
So, Roy,
Alright.
Big Joe, which of you wants to start?
Hold on. Let's do this.
Okay.
Should I get the popcorn?
And go for it. Damn it! Can I retroactively reject my compel?
Yes, give me your fate coin. No,
No.
you took it. That's why. That's
Nope.
why I compelled you first. Anyway,
That's what happens
So-
when you get a
so
smart
we're-
GM.
So we're sitting down and clearly a discussion needs to happen, right?
yep.
All right.
We're not the only ones around, right? Like, there's a bunch of other.
It should be private.
Yeah. It's like this big picnic area. You guys are at your own table, but there's other people around you.
Okay. I just didn't want to know if we were discussing it with the IEB.
I have an idea on how to start this and also cue in a shut up Bill. It's gonna start as Bill sitting down with everyone and being like, okay, so the hunter says Debbie Shane has been taken by JCC. So what I'm thinking is, with his report, we could go to the main leader and ask for resource. And at that point, Roy comes in and is like, shut up, Bill, I got a better plan.
Ooh, that should be
Yeah,
an aspect. Roy's new aspect. Shut up, Bill. I got a better plan.
No, shut up, Bill. There's no discussion needed here. We're going in. We're wasting all of them. We're getting Debbie back. We're bringing her back here, and we're moving on with what we're planning here.
As another alternative, which I know you are such a fan of, Roy, we could try recruiting them to fight the Duotoa and increase our chances of getting our friends back. We could even entice them by saying, Duotoa, pretty tasty. Maybe you'll want to enjoy that.
I'm gonna pretend that I didn't hear like any of that. No, we're not gonna pretend. We're not gonna pretend.
I can say it louder.
Are you? Are you actually suggesting that we encourage cannibalism?
If you're eating not your own race, is it really cannibalism?
Technically, it isn't.
Listen here, Cattywampus.
Hey! You lose
Um,
a fate point for metagaming. Just kidding.
Damn it. We can't. No. Listen, I get it. Different cultures, different upbringing. Eating things that speak and think is bad. Okay.
Well, animals think and speak. You just don't understand their languages, but you don't seem to have any problems with eating them.
That is not how that works.
Roy says as he puts like a rabbit leg in his mouth.
That's not science. God didn't put animals on this planet for us to discuss philosophy with.
From what I've heard of this god, some of the slaves that my tribe used to have would mention him. There was this one snake that did a lot of talking.
He also was an imaginary one from my point of view. But some people think differently. Ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-doo,
Okay, Yondu.
So, without context, I can understand why you would jump to that conclusion, Joe. That snake wasn't a snake.
But they said he was a snake.
No, it would no. If you read the actual scripture, he's a serpent. It never said snake. It said serpent. And there's a difference, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but there's a difference. And he was the representation of the enemy. So, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Regardless, we are hilariously outnumbered and potentially outgunned even with the barony. So getting more folks that are maybe more okay with killing on our side to fight these things that have our friends and at least traveling companions might be in our best interest.
I disagree with their ways, but I agree with the strategy that Big Joe's coming up.
Shut up, Bill. Okay, so one, just because I'm vindictive, I'm gonna go back to this one. Even if it was a snake, it doesn't count because I said walk and talk, and snakes don't walk. Two. No.
A compelling argument.
But Hector, help me out here. Cannibalism bad, right? Like.
Yes, I agree, but your plan, it begs for more precision, because going in there and killing all of them, he's gonna say while making quotes in the air with his hands, is not exactly a good plan either. And he's gonna go back to his notes, because you can see he's trying to actively shy away from the debate.
Hector,
Thanks, buddy.
You guys keep going. Hector, throw me out a notice roll, no reason.
No reason.
Right.
Oh no.
No reason.
Just to point out, yesterday
That's a 0.
That's a 0.
one of their members royally messed us up, and now you want to go where there's a lot of them, which also yesterday we were very against doing when we had a perfect opportunity to perhaps go there with laurels, and now you just want to storm the breaches. I don't know the term. But you just want to go there going pow, 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 pow. That's gun sounds, I assume. At least what it sounds like to me. So maybe we could come up. I'm okay with going there, but we should at least try to reason with them if that is possible.
We tried reasoning with them, like you said, yesterday, and that turned into them trying to eat us.
We won't.
And then, when we soundly dealt with them, and they ran off like the cowardly assholes they are, they sent one back to ambush us. And that's the only reason they got the upper hand on us. We are not outgunned by these backwoods, three-toothed criminal scum.
Hector's gonna raise his hand, and when he sees everybody looking at him, he's gonna say, but these scumbag cowards, like you called them, they used military tactics. They sent a sniper. He was efficient. And Big Joe saved the day.
Speaking of which, what'd y'all do with him?
He's with us because I was restraining him when Big Joe came, and
so
I
he
did
is
finish him.
somewhere confined.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do we not do the exact same tactics, like to run away and then come back and ambush? Like, I don't know if is it cowardly when they do it, but not when we do it. I'm trying to understand the mentality here.
I can understand the confusion. They cowardly ran away. We tactically retreated.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Roy.
It's a fine line, and I get that.
Bill,
Yep.
give me a notice roll.
No.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm assuming there's going to be more than just 1, 2, 3, 4 of them there, and he's counting everyone but Chuck.
Chuck is like still in the doc's office, right?
Yeah. I figured like that arm's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So we are at least outnumbered, and if each person has a gun, we are therefore outgunned as well.
Agreed. No, 100% agreed. You and I are on the same page there. When I say we are not outnumbered, we are not outgunned, we're not going in there to get back one of our own. We're going in there to get back one of these people. So,
what do you mean these people?
All right. I think we all know where Roy's going with that. So as he's talking, Bill, you grab your cup of water and you kind of throw it back, and when you put it down, you had a wedge of toast, and it's gone.
What? Okay, well that's intriguing. Bill would look around.
Where would you look around?
Well, first he would expect it to have fallen off the table somehow, so it'd probably look like under the table or around on the floor. Like, did I knock?
Perfect. All right, underneath the table is this 2-foot-tall, rust-colored man with big pointy ears and a big long nose, and he's munching on your toast. And when he sees you see him, he looks at you and he goes, "Toast! I mean, someone took bread and said, 'Cook it again!' Unreal."
Bill is probably just gonna look at him with like the jaw agape, like just like, what the hell?
So, mid-sentence, Roy, everyone at the table kind of hears this high-pitched voice coming from underneath the table.
Mm-hmm. And it also makes a good point.
Is that you lifting the whole table?
Yeah.
That's probably the first thought through Hector's mind when he hears that.
Morning!
It's good.
This is just for PR's clarification. This is another colrathi, correct?
Yep.
Okay, this one.
He
Not
takes
one that
another
we
bite
recognize?
of his toast, and then in the other hand, he's got a mostly eaten half of a hard-boiled egg that he stole from Hector's plate, and he just goes.
So it's not one that we recognize. We recognize the species, but it's not like a.
No. This is a new colrathi.
What are you doing here, my small friend, sir?
I'm eating. It's breakfast time.
How did you get?
He scoots a foot to his left, puts his toast into his left hand, and just pops open his hidden hatch that's right underneath y'all's table. Then closes it and scoots back on top of it.
For a very, very split second, there's kind of a light bulb that appears.
And then he kind of
On
like
top of-
shovels the rest of the toast into his mouth and goes,
Quick question.
Yes, everyone's aware of this, Hector, because Big Joe lifted the table up.
So, Bill is gonna look at the creature. Is gonna say like, your kind seems to like tunnels a lot.
That's profiling, but also correct.
Are these tunnels all connected?
Not all of them.
would you happen, by any chance, out of sheer luck, to have one that leads into a prison?
More specifically, the Joliet Correctional Center, also known as the JCC.
Oh, you mean the big hole in the ground?
Looks towards Roy.
That's the one.
Yes.
Might do.
And would you take toast in exchange for leading us
I'm
into the
good.
hole?
I'm full. Thank you, though.
Well, I mean, a steady supply of toasts. I'm gonna wink at the creature. Which might be awkward.
I mean, I'm fed.
Would you rather earn this bread honestly or keep pilfering it?
Are you implying that I am a dishonest soul?
Yes, that's exactly what he is saying.
All right, well,
I
that's
didn't
fair.
want to share my egg.
It tracks.
All right, yeah, that's fair. I mean, sure, I wouldn't mind,
Then
joining in on conversation and the like.
we might have a deal, and Hector's gonna look at everybody around the table.
Wait,
and
hang on. A deal for what exactly?
Well, we would potentially like to borrow those tunnels to go visit some acquaintances over by the big hole in the ground.
He stands up and starts jumping to try to get to what's on the table, and he's like, even if we had the biggest colrathi tunnels that have ever been colrathi tunnels, I don't think this guy would fit.
he makes a point.
Oh, all right. Would they be able to fit? And he kind of motions towards everyone but himself.
It depends on the tunnel, but that particular tunnel, probably not. Maybe if you skipped a few, breakfasts.
Well, I mean, with the way you are stealing it, it is quite possible they could. Also, are there
I
other
don't
ways?
like all the judgment going on in this conversation. It feels very one-sided.
I apologize. So it's just been a rough couple of days, so I'm a little on edge. Well, you said you want to join in on the conversation, so please join in. And he's gonna attempt to just gently pick him up and then put the table down and then put him on the table.
Whoa, personal space, Joe Light. Personal space.
Well, you want to join us for conversation, so you should sit at the table with us.
Sure. He pulls out this tiny tin, shot glass, and then pulls out this tiny whiskey canter, and he just pours something. And then he screws the top back on, and as he brings it to his mouth, you can all smell it. It smells very much like gasoline. And he throws it back. And then he pockets the little cup.
To each their own. Well, since you're part of this discussion now, let me ask you another question.
Sure. He's looking around at everyone's plate.
I just pushed mine over to him. If he wants anything in mine, whatever's left, he can have. If you were in a position where you needed to sneak all of us, and he's going to motion to the party as well as Big Joe, into the big hole in the ground area, how would you do it?
Well, he's pocketing the contents of your plate into his vest. Yeah, Hector, people are probably noticing, but you also hang out with the Joelite, so no one's like, hey, where did that colrathi come from? They're probably like, man, those are some weird
funny.
guests.
Especially since we just seemed so friendly with him. It's like at this point.
He's like, well, what I could do is I can sneak on in, and then I can raise the elevator. And then you guys can just come on in.
There is an elevator? I mean, yeah, the elevator. We could definitely use the elevator.
Still don't know if you'd fit, though.
Oh.
Are you eating that?
I'm gonna hand him my toast.
Thanks.
I'm gonna nudge Big Joe.
His vest is starting to look rather full. And it's
Big Joe is going to look at the guy and then eat his food slowly.
Okay.
Nudge Big Joe.
Uh, he's gonna lean down. I don't know what you're trying to nudge me about. Do you want me to ask him if he wants to try to convince the cannibals to join us, or?
No, can you ask him if maybe they could, just fill the tunnels under the hole in the ground with explosives and just blow it up? When we're done. When we're done.
I mean, he's right there. You could just ask him yourself. I don't know why I have to be the one.
Plus, I can hear you.
I'm not comfortable talking to these people.
Big ears.
Okay, all right. Anything
Heard the
else?
whole
Just let me
thing.
know now. I'll ask him.
No, that's it. Thank you.
I still can hear you though.
So, Mr. Colrathi, when we're done, is it possible
Mr.
for you and your
Colrathi is
kind?
my father. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Colrathi Jr.
sorry.
sorry, Mrs. Calrathi. I didn't mean to offend you, Miss. Is it possible for y'all to just
I
fill
heard
up
the
these
whole thing.
tunnels?
Yeah, we don't really make things explode. Often. Could do though. Could do.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, what would you want in some sort of trade for this service?
For blowing up the hole in the ground, like the whole thing with all the people in it.
I mean, once we get at least one other person out of it, yes.
Oh, jeez. I don't know how doable that is, honestly. It would take a commitment of large effort just to even try it, and it would be hard to do without being noticed. And those people are kind of scary. They're real sketchy, like.
So how was it you were planning to get in there unnoticed?
Oh, it's one thing to just sneak in and pull a lever. It's another thing to sneak in and plant discrete explosive devices throughout the entire complex. You know what I mean?
Could you not in those tunnels line up a bunch of them and just push them in rather quickly and
There's
run away?
only one tunnel, though.
Oh, okay. So from the one tunnel, just push whatever goes boom. I'm not very familiar with it. I just see it happen a lot around us.
I don't think you know how big the hole in the ground is.
That would be a correct estimate.
It's sizable.
Like 2 of me.
Carry the one. It's like 7 of you.
Oh,
Deep.
that's not. Okay, like me laying down or me standing up?
Well, you're standing up, obviously.
I
Right,
no
if you were
longer
laying down,
trust
it would be-
Colrathi math.
It would be pretty.
All right, so 7 of me. I was carry the 1.
I now also no longer trust Joe Light math.
I mean, that's pretty deep. I will say that's tens of feet.
Joe Light feet, indeed.
Just again, hypothetically talking, could you get someone out of that hole without being noticed with that?
Depends on the person, I guess.
Well, why would it depend on the person?
Well, it's because if he's a big guy like you, Big Joe, it's probably harder to sneak them out than if it's a tiny infant that's like 2 feet.
Well, if I gotta hit him with this, and he pulls out this kind of like leather sack with this very heavy-looking ball inside of it, and on top of the head, and then drag him, that might take some doing. But if I just be like, "Hey, come on through this tunnel, bud," it'd be a lot easier.
Well,
You
it'd be
raised-
definitely that second one, I think.
Big Joe, if you were accosted by someone you didn't know that looked different, I'm not sure you would follow them down a weird.
Yeah, well, as someone that was essentially a prisoner in the society and then accosted by some strange other race folks, yourselves, I can say earnestly that if you gave me the option to leave this confinement, I will take it, because I did.
He leans as close as he can get to Big
Fair
Joe and he
enough.
says, "Are you being held against your will? Blink twice
no.
if you need rescue."
No, not anymore. That was my folks, like my people. They were doing it. Wasn't really confinement. Just I didn't want to be there because I'm not like them. So, but then I
Okay.
had to because my dad was just like, "Oh, you gotta become the shaman of the tribe." And I'm like, "But Dad, I don't want your life."
So tragic. So tragic.
Okay.
That was a colrathi crying, right?
No. Don't worry about
He
it.
was blinking. Okay. So we got the elevator option, maybe the escape option. I'm not quite on board on the explosion option, but I mean, I'm not in control of that.
Do you know a lot about the hole? Like, any defenses or maybe like where they keep stuff? Like, how familiar are you with it?
Personally, not very.
Do you know someone who's very knowledgeable of that place?
Well, there is Pierre.
He sounds like a reasonable person.
Pierre, cause his bladder's empty.
Haha.
That's a joke. That's a joke from Hector.
Okay. He's like, well, his real name is
All right.
Well, you know, tall people
bless
call him
you.
Pierre.
God bless you.
And
I get that.
I'm assuming Pierre goes to the hole, or at least went to the hole a few times, and he knows about it.
Well, Pierre is enthusiastic about danger.
That's fair. And
I like this guy already.
And
Well-
how could we meet Pierre if we needed more information about what's going on at the hole?
Well, I could go get him. He likes admirers.
All right, this sounds reasonable.
Hector's
What
something
about
going on.
any of this sounds reasonable?
None of it, but I'm
I'm just
curious.
curious. Like,
Well, he is going to get a specialist that can give us inside information that will either help our plan to recruit them to help us fight the Duotoa, or should it come to it, kill them all, as you so eloquently put it.
Plus,
I'm-
it replaces the
After
empty
hearing
spot.
that, he stands up and puts a tiny hand on Roy's shoulder and says, "Did someone hurt you?"
Who hurt you, Lionel? Sure. Let's.
He should point
talk
at
to
his chest
Pierre.
wound and his kneecap.
Let's talk to Pierre. I like this.
I mean,
idea.
Roy, we need to replace the toast and eggs that are disappearing from this table with options. You know, options on how to approach this whole.
I just said it's fair. Let's do it. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Okay.
My fair
That-
friend, could you go get Pierre?
The tunnels are a good idea. I'm
He's
not
like,
sure
he
about the
comes
bomb,
down to the seat and like, all right, I'll be right back. I gotta.
and I'm also not sure about the blackjack to get Debbie.
This
what-
is breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find a drink.
And while
I'm
he
gonna
does that,
accompany you.
while they do that, Bill considers that if he ever ends up building a house, he's gonna cement the base just to make sure there's no tunnels going up into his house.
Too late.
I don't think that would stop them.
No, I don't think so. I am afraid that nothing can stop these little creatures.
Can't stop them now.
So, while they're gone, Bill's gonna turn to Big Joe and waiting for Pierre as well. He's gonna turn to Big Joe and say, "So, I do it like your idea, Big Joe, of hopefully coming down to a more peaceful resolution with. However, I am not quite sure that having them as allies is the temporary allies, maybe, but not as permanent allies. I don't think a lot of people would agree with it. You see, cannibalism is not a very well seen attribute or trait.
These people were not cannibals before. The
I thought
world changed, and that's the last resort they have found.
Wait,
I
so
mean-
Hector's here? I thought he accompanied
Oh,
Roy to go get a
sorry.
drink. No,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to, just so I don't ignore you while you're sitting. I just want to make sure I know who's there.
So Roy and
were
Hector
right.
went where?
Getting
Go
a
find
drink.
alcohol.
Ah. Does anyone have any renamed minor consequences?
I had one
minor?
at the start of the game from last session, but it was already healed. So I thought when we started this one, it would just go away.
I was gonna say yes. If you have a renamed minor consequence, it's gone now.
Okay, perfect. Mine got renamed to a minor now, so it's not gone. It's still there.
Really sorry for interrupting, because I shouldn't have been there.
No worries.
No, that's no. I just want to make sure, just like I said, just so I don't like ignore people. Be like, why is he just talking to this guy? I'm right here.
Oh, we're not mad at him. I'll put away this news.
All right. I mean, I don't get the whole like looking weird at cannibalism because in Jolat Society we just eat others folks to gain their strength. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I figure if worst comes to worst, we could just trick them into going to fight the Duotoa, and if they at least weaken them, yay us.
That's what I was gonna say. It's if we manage to convince them to join us somehow, we're foreseeing the future here, assuming it goes that way. I just want you to be ready that people might turn on them, because after they weaken the Dutuawa, they will also be weak, and I'm afraid that the group here will turn against them. Well, not the group here as us, but like the whole barony will turn against them to get rid of them.
Oh no, know full well about humans turning on, others that are not like them.
Oof. All right, Roy and Hector, you eventually navigate around and you find that someone in their kind of trailer has set up a moonshine distillery, and he gives y'all maybe 12 ounces.
Okay, while we're walking there and back to the camp, Hector's gonna ask Roy, like, have we forgotten about our pursuer? I feel like I should rummage around to find maybe something that can help us against him. You know, that flaming guy.
That is a wonderful idea,
I'm
and
gonna
I encourage you to follow that specific course of action. Yes.
I'm gonna keep that bottle, but I'll join you guys back when I'm done.
Oh, sweetie, no, you can have a drink.
He's gonna grab Roy's bottle. He's gonna take a swig.
I really need this right now.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
I appreciate. I'll save something for you.
All right. As you guys return to your table and take a seat.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to try to find and maybe talk to people about some kind of
Anti-flaming
anti-fire
Russian
system, or just like plain good old fire extinguishers, or anything I could tamper with.
Okay.
Because I remember that Russian guy.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm
So
scared.
you're off doing that. So the other three of you, when you get back to the table, and when Roy takes his seat, suddenly dry ice smoke starts billowing out from underneath your table.
Smoke's coming out from under the table. While I take a step away from the table, I'm now afraid of calling Pierre.
Is this normal? Is this normal?
I don't know what's normal for colrathi. Just in case, take a step back, Big Joe. In case something flaming or explodey comes out of there, I'm not 100%.
All right.
Gonna lift up the table again.
You listen to the table again. So it's just Roy holding his alcohol, his moonshine. All right. So Roy, as you're holding your liquor, suddenly what you hear this a fluttering fabric, like someone whipping a cloak around inside the mist, and a sharp kind of rod flies out from the mist and pops the alcohol from your hand, and then it lands.
Roll initiative.
And standing in the mist as the mist starts to subside is this colrathi, and he is wearing human-sized cowboy boots. He has boots, cowboy boots, human-sized.
Okay.
He has a big belt around his waist, and it's on top of a human-sized shirt, sleeveless shirt that he's wearing like a tabard. And he's got this pointed hat that has a plume in it, a big purple plume, and the hat is red and the shirt is red.
Of course.
And in his hand, in his right hand, he's holding what appears to be a homemade sword, using a sharpened kind of a fire prod. I know the actual name of that is escaping me.
Fire poker.
Fire poker, yeah, but he's sharpened it. And then where the guard is one of those circular magnets in water. And in his other hand, he's holding the liquor bottle. And he is voiced by John Delancey doing a bad French accent.
Oh, no.
And he says, "Did someone ask for Pierre?"
I was expecting that.
Yeah, I believe it was me.
And me.
Feast
Okay,
your
the two of
eyes
us.
upon the finest swordsman in all of colrathi people.
You cut out at the end for me.
Of all colrathi people. And he's like thrusting into the air with his sword.
Okay. Could you just give our friend back his drink?
Of
He
course!
seems to...
He throws it up in the air, taps it with his sword, and it lands perfectly on Roy's head. And he kind of like rests his sword down into the ground and strikes a pose. Oh, and I forgot. He is wearing a cape made of a blanket that has been trimmed to his size, and it's just like a normal little tie around his neck.
So Bill is gonna try to talk into the character that Pierre is, and he's gonna say, "Pierre, do you know why we call?"
I assume you want my autograph. And he starts
Yes.
doing intricate maneuvers with his sword in the air.
Yes, but also
Okay, at this
We
point,
needed
because of the dry ice and the loud shouting and once again lifting up the table, the remainders of people eating breakfast are starting to gather around.
See, we gathered your fans.
is it too late? Is it too late to say nothing to see here?
Oh, actually, that's going to be perfect for another scene aspect. I'm going to call it something
Dancing Dawn.
to see here. There you go.
So Bill's gonna say, on top of your autograph, we were also requiring the service of a intrepid soul to help us with a dangerous task.
Then you could not have found a better colrathi! Daunting, dangerous tasks for men of vigor and finesse. I am the only colrathi up for the task. And he throws the sword point down into the ground, and then jumps on it and balances himself on it while with one hand holding the pommel. And he's like,
I'm actually impressed.
I am the finest swordsman in all of colrathi people, and there is no task too dangerous, too horrifying, that I will not take.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Is Big
No, go
Joe
ahead.
actually clapping?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, whenever you do, the crowd kind of like confused, kind of reluctantly starts.
Yeah. Well, we are hoping that you could help us get into the hole. It was a correctional center named
The big
Juliet.
hole in the ground.
Whipping his sword out from underneath his own feet, he kind of lunges into the air a few inches before landing, and he goes, I have crossed swords with those people before.
Okay, so they have swords, not guns. Good to know. See,
no, they probably
you're...
have guns.
Oh. Okay, I thought Roy was right. We were not going to be outgunned because they had swords.
Well, if you recall, some of them have machetes.
Well, Pierre, since you've crossed paths with these people already...
Well, he's crossed swords, not paths.
Yeah, swords and pats. You wouldn't happen to know their how well equipped they are and the general layout of the area. But
They have your firearms aplenty, machetes and sharpened shanks, but they lack any kind of debonair.
on that, you have us all beat, my dear Pierre. But
Not only that, but I have enough panache for the entire state of Illinois.
fair enough, I agree with
And he
this.
slides on his boots over to the nearest woman in the crowd and goes, "May I know
dear
your
Lord.
name?" And she just kind of starts backing away.
Pierre, you need consent. You need consent.
Also, I don't know what having pancakes is going to do in this situation, but I'm glad to know that you do have pancakes. I
Panache,
guess, if
my
you
good
get hungry.
sir! Gusto!
A
You have
certain
wind?
je ne sais quoi.
His eyes sparkle when you say that, and he's like, "You know of my speciality."
Oh, I've heard all the legendary tales.
Oh, you shall make a glorious sidekick.
So Pierre, we need...
You're not sure
to
if he's
get
listening because he's like
Yeah,
fighting
I know,
the
but
air.
at this point, Bill's just trying, and you'll see where that leads. So Bill says, Pierre, we have a task at hand that requires somebody of yours. We need to find our way into the big hole in the ground to rescue some damsel in distress
Now you're
that,
talking my language.
that we need to bring back to her family over here, safe and sound.
He's actually speaking English.
You kind of deflated him a little bit. He's like, "So you need me to rescue a damsel in distress?"
Yes! And in exchange, we will tell the legend of Pierre the colrathi all over the United States.
I will have many admirers.
Everywhere you go.
You'll have to fight him off with a stick.
Oh no, I would welcome them with a warm embrace.
Or that too.
Just don't go into the weird part of Mississippi.
So, he points the sword down and rests his hand on the pommel once more, and he says, "What is the plan, comrades?"
Well, we had evaluated several options, and we could run them by you since you know the area well. The best thing we would like to is make as little noise as possible, so it would be either one of us, a courageous soul, going in and saving the damsel in distress, sneakily, or you bring us with you on the most inconspicuous path.
He seems offended. Inconspicuous? How will they know that Pierre is the one who has defied them?
You could carve your signature on the walls with your sword to let them know you were here, but you completely befuddled them. They never saw you coming. Imagine how destroyed they would be inside if you managed to get in and get out without them even noticing. Right under their nose, right in their head. The shame would kill them. The shame alone would kill them.
Roll rapport.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Your
That's a
words have
5.
moved me.
That's a 5.
Your silky smooth tongue has convinced me that perhaps even in the shadows, Pierre may strike a blow of infamy.
Yes, that is what Bill is known for. His silky smooth tongue.
I'll have you know I sold the crappiest vacuum. No, it's a joke. I'm not saying that. Bill just like kind of side glance at Big Joe, going like, "Come on, that's the one thing I'm good."
So I am glad his words reached you. So you will help us in our endeavor?
I believe I will. But we must swear an oath. Come, let us cross swords. He puts his sword out in the vague middle of the three of you and says, "All for one and one for all." Ha
I grab the butt of my M1 Garand and I use it as a sword.
Royal grab his baseball bat.
Table.
Yes!
Fucking table.
We are sworn this day. As brothers in arms, we shall rescue the damsel in distress.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Ha
A la plage.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
What was the thing
Say
from
no-
Dexter's Lab? Allez-mou fromage? Or what was it?
Omelette du fromage.
Yeah, omelette de
du
fromage.
All right. Well, see, Roy, everything worked out when we got such a distinguished gentleman.
The
such
plan
as
shall be
Pierre.
as thus. I shall
All right.
sneak into their little hole, unannounced,
All right.
in disguise, which I am a
Okay,
master of.
Okay.
I'm already liking this. I'm a tailor myself, so please go on.
I shall raise the elevator so that you may descend. And once
Wow.
the elevator is raised, I shall create a distraction.
Yeah.
It shall
That
be
works
easy.
for us.
All
And
right,
then, with an appropriate application of cunning and guile, I shall make my escape with the damsel.
all right. Is the elevator big enough for myself, or am I going to have to sit back?
I do not know.
All right. Well, I guess it's just we'll wing it. It's what we normally do.
We'll cross that bridge once we get.
Burn that bridge when we cross it.
This will be one for the legends.
Indeed.
Yep.
I hope so. I mean, we will be telling everyone.
Very well. When shall we deploy this dastardly deed?
Now.
Let's go.
Yeah, given their
Let's,
traits, we should probably go sooner rather than later.
let's go grab Hector.
Yeah, you will like our friend. He is. What's the best way to describe Hector? Eccentric, like yourself.
Ah, a kindred spirit? Come,
Yes.
let us meet him and then we shall go save the mademoiselle.
Yep. I'll go
And then
grab
he
him.
thrusts his sword ahead and starts walking.
All right. I like his.
Get him to a vehicle. I'll go find Hector.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'll guide him to a vehicle.
Meanwhile, Hector is probably looking for a warehouse where they would store the tanks or fill the tanks of gas, hydrogen for the balloons and stuff like that. He's
Okay.
gonna inquire to the personnel there
Okay.
if they have like extra supplies of I guess the protection against fire, everything that like habits, clothes, extinguishers,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
the mechanic that you've kind of pulled aside, he's like, well, actually, everything fire retardant and anything like extinguishes fire that we put to use on the Blimp City. I don't know if we can spare anything.
But it would be stored here. Maybe I could have a look. That would
Well, if you
maybe I
just
could
want
come
to
up
look
to
at it,
something better. Yeah.
I think we could accommodate that. But again,
I'm
I don't.
gonna get my bottle of vodka out. I'm gonna take a swig. I'm gonna offer him one.
This son of a bitch had a bottle of vodka and was trying to take my moonshine.
Yeah, we both had one, and I took
he
from
takes
yours.
it. He takes a swig and he's like, "Woo, yeah. Oh, come on back. I'll show you something.
All right, stuff in my
We've
bottle.
got some
back
innovative
my
techniques,
sack.
given that we're building the biggest blimp man has ever known.
That's
Well-
what I'm curious about.
I mean, actually, I don't know. Anyway.
So, I'm very curious about his innovative techniques.
All right, well, he's showing them to you, and then, Roy, you said you were going to go find him?
Yup.
All right, you find him.
Yay!
I'm gonna get out of the warehouse full of ideas, and then I'm gonna talk to Roy and say that my inquiries were fruitful, but we're gonna have to trade for that stuff, and we're gonna need it.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's work on an idea on what we offer in exchange for it. Excuse me. In the meantime, we're apparently rescuing Debbie Shane right now.
I trust our plan is sound.
Oh, totally. Like the war room was just full of solid ideas. These tactics are completely
All right.
unassailable.
So meanwhile, Bill, as you're getting in the truck,
Yes.
your colrathi friend Pierre pops open the hood and starts
Oh no.
pulling these small devices out of his shirt, and he starts hooking it up to things. And then you start the engine, and he slams it shut and jumps on the hood of the car. And he says, "Let us go!" And you start driving towards where Roy went. And as you kind of see them in the distance, he says, "My friend, play the horn."
So for a split second, Bill has his hand over the horn. He's not sure, but then he's like, I don't want to lose Pierre as an asset, so he pressed.
All right, so Roy, just after you said that, like, you know, the plan is solid, you guys hear in the distance, creeping up on you slowly.
Oh.
And it just like mid-sentence, I'll be like, just hang my head in shame.
And then as the truck pulls up, Pierre looks dissatisfied. And he's like, "That was the wrong one." And he pops open the hood and starts reconfiguring everything. He's like, jumps up on it, takes a pose. He's like, "Again."
I press again.
Da 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 da.
That is worst.
And he tumbles off, and puts his sword in his other hand and extends his now free right hand to Hector, and he goes, "I am Pierre Saint Colrath, at your service."
I am honored to meet you, friend.
Of course
And
you are. Of
can-
course you are. I'll get that off in. Oh, I am now here to save this damsel.
And we shall accompany you on your quest. He's like very dubitative and surprised by the character. Because Hector doesn't know anything about the plan, so he's gonna inquire like, what are you gonna do exactly? In
Jumping
all
back
of
up on the hood. He's like, again, gesturing to Bill.
I'll just press it at this point.
So as 1812 was playing in the background, he's thrusting from side to side with his sword. He says, "I shall sneak into the hole in the ground, raise the elevator for you to come down, and then I shall draw the attention of all the crazy cannibals within, astounding them with my acts of finesse and prowess." And the GM needs a swig of water.
Olive
That's-
oil.
"And then I shall find the mademoiselle and take her into my arms and carry her to the lift, and we shall all escape unharmed."
And you are sure you can accomplish all of this by yourself and also protect the damsel?
My friend, I have never been more sure of anything in my life. I believe all my time, all 9 years I've been alive, I have been waiting for this moment.
I suggest you wait for us down the elevator shaft, but I guess you've got it all figured out.
It wouldn't
And
be a true plan unless you left room for improvisation.
And
Alright.
Bill's gonna lean out of the window of the truck and say to Hector, to be fair though, he did do tricks with his sword that I'm fairly certain none of us could. So,
Yep.
All right.
The
All
sword
right.
tricks is what sold me.
Well, Hector is gonna like take that seriously, and he's gonna trust the rest of his group because he does, and he's gonna bow his head to Pierre.
Roy is almost certain at this point that he did not survive the shot.
We're all just NPCs in your own personal hell now.
Yeah, that's kind of where he's at the moment.
He thinks he's in a coma.
Or yeah, he's still lying on the doctor's table, some sort of fever dream.
But Hector's gonna be very curious during the trip, asking Pierre where he's from, what he's done, like all of his adventures.
Oh God, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Joe, go sleep in the trailer. Not Joe,
Well,
Roy.
I'm
go
glad
sleep
you
in the
asked.
trailer.
I will divulge to you the story of how a mere assistant of a workshop became the greatest colrathi swordsman to have ever lived. It all began in the other world, you see. I was but a lowly apprentice to a 15-year-old blacksmith. We would hammer out the great weapons of the colrathi. We would build the energy staff of the Dutuo, and then came time for the great invasion. And we knew that we had to disappear. But when we encountered you folk, we realized this was a fight that we did not want. And so we took to underground, where we hid. And that is where I found it. The most magical device ever. This large room. This many strands of this magnetic tape,
Yup.
which displayed pictures, which we assumed to be historical documents of Earth. And that is where I saw it. And that is where I became a musketeer.
Hector actually beams up during his speech, and he's like realizing a lot of things, but he's gonna pay his respects to Pierre, and he's gonna tell him offhandedly, like, you chose one of the better examples, and I respect you for it.
Well, this time last year I was a Roman centurion, but I have changed!
In all your 9 years?
That's right. But do not let my youth deceive you.
No, I have quite. If I understand correctly, you are short-lived, but you grow up fast.
Colrathi have been known to live for 200 years.
Oh, all right.
But after we hatch, if we do not know how to do something well by the age of 1, then you're a pretty crappy Colrathi. If you pardon my French.
On that we are similar. And he's gonna take a short pause, and he's gonna rummage into his backpack, I mean. But more importantly, Pierre, my friend, from what I understand, you are the makers of these weapons, and he's gonna hand one of the duo weapons he has on himself.
Oh, yes. Only with access to the forges of the colrathi, you see.
But would you know how to operate those? I'm very curious about.
Ah, you wish to know the mysteries of the Dutuo weapon. Well, unfortunately, although fortunately for them, these weapons can only be operated by a Dutuo, you see. They are not what you would call exactly solid. They sort of wisp and wane, very mysterious, ooh. But this smoke that comes out of their hands is part of them. And they use it, and he holds up the thing, and he shows those kind of, those little vents on either side of the handle. The mist goes into there and triggers the firing mechanism, and then whoosh! Death.
Oh. I had come under the conclusion that we as humans could not operate these weapons, but I was wondering if maybe they had a source of energy contained inside of them, and maybe a safe way to remove them.
Ah, you washed the crystal at the end. Yes. I could provide this for you. After all, we are companions.
I do believe we are, and we quite honestly could. Yeah, I mean, if our mission is successful, I would gladly fight alongside you once more.
So he gets up on the hood of the truck. He sits down and he puts the staff weapon in his lap. And he reaches into his shirt and he pulls out a handful of what just kind of looks like pink dust. And he sprinkles it on top of the staff lengthwise. And then he breathes over it and then runs his hand across it. And as his hand glides across it, suddenly all these these illuminated runes start appearing along it. And Big Joe, you recognize that this colrathi is performing magic.
Hector is paying as much attention as he can, even though he probably cannot understand what exactly is happening right now.
Yeah, Big Joe is doing the exact same thing, just like as he's running beside him, just like an ostrich in a bit.
All right, once he comes to the end of it, from the first rune on, the runes kind of dissolve the metal, and it starts to peel away, like liquid falling off of a surface, coming into the other half, and he basically exposes half of the weapon. And inside is what looks like rather primitive kind of clockwork design, and then he just kind of goes, "Puh," and just plucks the crystal from the tip. And then he kind of looks to Hector, and then he throws the rest of it. He's like, "Honestly, without the crystal, this is worth his junk. Here you go!" And he hands you the crystal.
Alright, I'm gonna take it, but depending where he's thrown the spear, maybe I wanna gather some of the dust, or ask him if I can have just a pinch. Not that I wanna use it, but maybe I wanna analyze it. If I ever come across the right equipment, which I will never.
He smirks slyly and he says, "A human working the magic of the other realm is laughable."
I'm striving to learn more about the new world that we have to live upon, and you guys are now a part of it.
Well, this dust is hard to come by these days, ever since the two worlds got smashed together.
But I am still like a child, even though I am 37 years old compared to you in these matters. I am curious.
I do
That's
not
all
wish
I'm
to
saying.
part with my dust.
I can respect that. And he's gonna drop the matter.
Wait, you're only 37 years old?
That I am?
Oh. Okay. I thought you were a lot older. You're very wise, and I just figured. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm counting in my head right now.
So now that he's finished, he basically takes a stance where he becomes a hood ornament, sword extended, and he's gonna stand perfectly like that. So you guys driving out of the
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were doing that already.
Yeah. At some point, I wanted to make sure. At some point, he kind of turns and taps his sword up against the windscreen. He's like, "Stop here, my man."
I'm gonna stop the vehicle.
All right. Let me draw you a map. And he jabs his sword into the hood of the truck and starts scratching the paint. It's like, "Wait, I hear?" Marks an X. And then, there you go. That's where the hole is. Now, I will meet you there. Upon your arrival, the platform shall rise, and we shall save the mademoiselle. And he tips his hat, and he moves 5 feet to the left and pops open a hatch that you guys didn't know was there and vanishes. All you see is his big plumed hat disappearing.
Are we actually doing this?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's better than going in guns blazing.
Well, the question is, can we sneak to the elevator? That's the tough part.
Well, he gave us a map, and we said we wanted to come in unarmed and come out unarmed and hopefully sneaky, and he says he's going to cause a distraction. So I'm assuming as we come up upon the elevator, which is probably on the edge of the big hole, he's going to start a commotion, and then we can come down the elevator. They won't pay attention to us. They'll pay attention to colrathi, who's very, very full of flair and panache. They will have no other choice but to look at him. So,
I mean, I've been working on my stealth ever since running in Michigan. I've been practicing real good.
The only thing I'm worried about is what happens if and when Big Joe cannot make it into the elevator. Do we do 2 diversions?
it depends. We'll see what Big Joe can do from up on the platform if he can't join us in the elevator. But let's not talk negative here. Let's get to the place and see what happens.
I mean, 7 of me isn't that deep. I could probably jump down.
No.
Not with the shape of your leg, I don't think so.
Good point. Good point.
Maybe you could climb down, though.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, depending on the elevator, it might be possible. If it's like an open air, like construction style elevator, you might be able to just down.
It's a prison. They probably had a big elevator for carts and stuff. So, little bit of luck, it's one.
We shall see.
Well, now I don't understand or know much about prisons here, but they kept them underground?
Well, no. The prisons used to have several stories, including basements, which went into the ground. Now that it's a hole in the ground, what I'm assuming is that something happened when the world merged, and it just got.
Okay.
But usually they were. Actually, you might not know that, but do you know what a castle is?
Yes.
They would be akin to a castle, a very fortified structure, but not meant to keep people outside from coming in. It would be meant to keep inside people from coming out. So now that you understand this, the fact that it's a hole in the ground, aka the walls and everything's gone, is why we have a problem, because the people that were in it, which were not particularly good people, are now out.
Okay, so it's a reverse castle. All right, that makes a lot of sense. All right, well, let's just go with this plan. Worst comes to worst, Roy, we get to kill them all, and
Yes. Everybody wins.
I mean, they're not going to win, so
I like
hope
your
not.
attitude.
I hope we don't get into a firefight.
All right, well, let's go. And as Joe begins to tow away.
Trench
And
gun,
stops.
baseball
goes,
bat.
I don't know where we're going, actually, so I probably shouldn't be leading. One
I
of y'all.
simply look at the map and follow the map. Hector can probably help.
Hector, are you gonna help?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna help you with the map. I mean, yeah, yes.
Hector, I suggest you copy
yeah.
the map. You copy the map from the hood. We could have asked him not to draw it on the hood, but still, copy it into your.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't know what to do with that narratively, so I was expecting either roll something or we proceed.
I I think that should be a roll. Give me an investigate roll to read this map.
All right. Not my strong suit, but that's a
Difficulty
3.
3. Oh, okay. So you're tying it. So you'll succeed at a minor cost.
You have to take the hood with you.
I engraved it into the hood. So Big Joe's I'm gonna unbolt the hood, and Big Joe's gonna just take it because I didn't have any paper, so I had to engrave the map into the truck hood.
Well, I mean,
No,
it was
you
already
did.
in it. Yeah, it was already in there. So we're just.
I'm just kidding, but I mean, yeah.
Oh.
I succeed with cost.
Okay. So the cost is you guys don't get there as quickly as you were hoping.
Sorry, I botched the map.
So you arrive at the ruined city of Joliet. It looks much like the cities and towns you've come across before. Abandoned buildings, strange geological formations, but right where the correctional facility should be. Which is probably not
Which correctional facility?
the JCC. It's probably not like in the city, but I don't actually know Joliet. Never been there myself, so I'm making shit up. All right, yeah, it's this giant hole in the ground. However, this hole in the ground is surrounded by these metal scrap-built watchtowers, and where the two of them are closest, there is this large, kind of like a platform riser. And when you arrive, the platform is flush with the ground. However, a group of JCC people have positioned themselves in front of it. Not only that, but you guys hear the sounds of motorbikes, and you see a half dozen JCC guys on dirt bikes, kind of circling the pit. Although you can barely hear over the sound of their engines, there is a commotion going on in the hole, and you guys can hear gunshots going off. And
did we come too late? That said to the group, not like loud.
We did come a little bit late, so maybe he already raised the elevator and he started the distraction. However, not all of them.
I'm gonna unsling my gun and rush to the elevator.
so you guys stop, grab your guns, and charge.
Looks like it's gonna be the way to go.
I'm gonna cast a look and see if there's any cover we could exploit, because that's my jam. But yeah, otherwise, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to be tactical about it.
Just before I go on, question, mechanic-wise, if I activate if I activate an ability, would the charging there and getting there be one scene, or would the charging there be a scene and then getting
all
there
this is
would be
going to be one scene, and I'll put up scene aspects in a bit.
No, I just want to know because
I do want to put a pin in that, because as you guys are charging the platform, where armed guys are waiting for you, that's where we're going to go to our break.
Sweet.
If it hasn't become
Sounds
obvious, I'm needed.
Uh-huh.
So we'll take hopefully a 15-minute break. Let's shoot to be back 10 after, and we got another roughly 2 hours of dire roll Neosoma. So stick around. All right, we're back, and it's time for some action.
So yeah, as we're running towards the impending doom, Big Joe would like to activate his Scale of the Chameleon, which once per scene, I can vanish while in plain sight by spending a fate point, which I shall. I shall spend the one that I got for being compelled, specifically. And he does that just by kind of like running forward, spinning his hands, speaking in his native tongue before his kind of form fades out, much like the Predator. And no one can attack him until they create advantage on me, or until after they've Succeeded at an overcome roll with notice.
Okay. So Big Joe's invisible. The scene aspect is hell on earth.
That's inspiring.
We're gonna raise it.
I hope you're right, Bill.
All right, real quick. Let's go ahead and lay down some zones.
Lay down some fat beats.
No.
That was perfect. He should be allowed to
No.
beatbox. He should.
No.
He should.
I mean, I can do way better than that.
Alright, he shouldn't.
All right, and then there's actually going to be a few more zones, right? These are small little zones. I'm only going to do one, but these are the two towers on either side of the platform. This zone is the platform itself. And, yeah. So we're going to do a quick... Yep.
You did say 2 towers on either side of the platform?
Yeah. But I'm only putting one down for the sake of zones.
Alright, okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm very visual, so I was like, there's only 1 tower, but I get it.
Alright, this zone has big drop. And that's the only zone that really matters, I guess. And you guys are all going to be in this zone. And they're going to be... And then I'm just going to go ahead and do just X4 so I can fit it in here. There's 4 guys on the ground, 4 guys over there. And then there is going to be...
So that 4 guys in the tower section, is that 1 guy per tower?
2 guys per tower, because there's 2 towers.
Okay.
In fact, it should probably be 2 zones, because you can't go from one tower to the other. Let's go ahead and just do it like that, and... there you go.
Looks good.
And just because I want the bikers to take a hot second to get to y'all, I'm gonna add 1 more zone. Bikers, oops. Start here. All right. Initiative. We're going to add thugs 1. That'll be the one on the ground. Thugs T will be the tower thugs, and bikers. And these guys each have 1 notice. Bikers have 2. So, bikers there. We're gonna put Hector. What's your athletics?
0.
Okay, Hector's gonna go dead last.
Hector's a little bit tired of that.
Roy, you're up.
Roy would like to. I mean, we're charging. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
We got ground. We got towers, and then the square is
The
a
platform.
drop or
That's the platform.
the elevator platform thingy.
Yeah, that's the elevator platform. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and run into because I'm a brilliant person. I'm gonna run into the zone with the thugs and blast at them with the trench gun.
Okay. So you're gonna move a zone and shoot.
That is correct. And my shoot roll is a grand total of a 2.
They are going to defend with athletics, which they get a grand total of a 0.
Okay.
Okay, so you take out 2 thugs.
Do you have automatic weapon which
No,
deals more damage?
trench gun, shotgun.
Okay.
So Roy runs forward and just kind of like blam, blam, takes out 2 of them right quick. And Big Joe,
Done.
you're up.
Okay. Does the elevator seem big enough for Big Joe?
Well, that depends on whether or not you want to accept his compel.
Okay.
I'm going to compel just so damn big that this elevator cannot support your weight.
That makes sense. Okay. I will accept that compel.
Okay.
All right. In that case, Big Joe is going to do something incredibly stupid. And he is going to charge towards the tower on the right, right below Big Drop. And is going to, because he is just so damn big, he is going to throw his body weight into one of the support beams or legs of it, hoping to knock it over and into the pit.
Okay. One of the towers.
Yeah, the one on the right.
Okay. You're using physique, I guess?
Yeah, I'm going to try and just straight up.
Right,
He's so damn big, just.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, just
That's a him of a Jaken that likes the idea but doesn't want to lose a time.
No. It's just, that would be an attack. But,
would it be an attack or I mean,
well,
I could
if
think
you
of what.
succeed, you take them out, right? If you knock them down into the hole, they're gone.
All
so
right,
that would
all
be
right.
an attack. I don't know how. I think,
Would athletic or hold on? Let me just
no.
try to
Okay,
think.
we'll make it an overcome.
Okay.
Against 4, and if you beat it, this tower and these 2 guys are gone. So it's kind of an unorthodox thing, but.
Okay. I mean, I'm also trying to think if I could what I could do to create an advantage, like how I could word it so that would create an advantage. But I'm okay with your decision.
But actually, I think I'm going to increase the difficulty because you're knocking down a metal tower. Maybe
Okay.
made out of scrap. So I'm going to raise it to 5. I'm going to raise this to 5.
Sounds good. With a 2, let's see. That is not good. Not good at all. I am going to invoke something I just got a token for. He is just so damn big. And I'm trying to think if I want to re-roll, if I want to take the +2.
Well, the book advises to only take a reroll if you have a -2, and you're sitting on a -1 on the roll. But that's just the book suggestion.
And I mean, your choices are gambling on a re-roll. Hopefully, with a +3, you could feasibly get above 6. But at the same time, if you had a +2 right now, you would be at a 4. You need to be at a 6, so you need at least another token to meet, and that would be meet with a cost, I believe. And otherwise, you can use 3 tokens and beat it.
If I spend another token, that'll bring it up to 6, and the difficulty's 5. So I'll beat it. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm a gambling man. So yeah, I was just so damn big. We're gonna re-roll. And go.
Oh,
Well, that's a 1.
That's a 1.
Now the book says you should reroll that.
According to the book, you should re-roll that.
Just to clarify.
I'll just take the loss. So there's a loud clang, and then
he's gonna bounce off of the tower. Yeah.
And I'm still invisible.
All right,
So
Bill.
well,
Even
I'm
though
on
it's
the-
not my turn, I'm
I'm
gonna
on the left
ask.
side, so I'm gonna try to shoot these guys.
Never mind, he's gonna do what I was gonna ask him.
Well, that's a -2. They're going to defend with.
That's gonna be a reroll because I can't do any.
Okay, well, let me roll their opposition.
Yeah. See what they get.
They're going to
Maybe
defend.
they get -4.
Honestly, I don't really know what they would defend with. They kind of have like, kind of static up there. I'm gonna have them defend with.
I mean, athletics to duck behind cover.
Yeah, it just seems so. We use that all the time, and it's always a little bit of a stretch. But since we
Normally
set
you
the
use
precedent-
fight, and if you have 0 fight, you just roll 4 dice plus 0. That's what I used to do before I took.
Yeah, but fight against
fight.
shoot doesn't quite work.
What, he's gonna punch the bullets?
Yeah. Well, fight and fight, duck and weave. So let's do athletics, of which they have 1. So I got a -2, so it's a tie.
You're serious right now?
I am super serial.
Yes.
It's time to use loaded for bear.
I'm not using the free invoke of it.
But it's right here.
I know it's right there. Why do you want us to get rid of it so bad?
I don't know.
Because, man, he is a pig.
But wait, if we use the free invoke of it, I thought you said. Oh yeah, we're just gonna not have the extra bullet. That's basically
You
what
run
we
the
would
risk
have.
of running out of ammo.
I don't want that. I'm gonna invoke the dangerous road. We've been at it for a while. I've gone better at shooting through sheer fighting for my life. So no, actually, reroll. Fuck that shit. I'm rerolling. Might get like a stellar success.
Okay. That's 4.
So now I'm
Yes.
beating them by 6.
A lot better.
Come on, Jaken. Let's see these tokens.
All right. I am going to invoke their aspect, which is the Watchers. Their job is to be in that tower and to not get shot by the first guy who runs up to them. And I'm going to give myself a reroll. So I got a 2.
I still beat them by.
All right, so you're going to take out the 2 in this tower. Just pop, pop. Or maybe a few rounds, pop, 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 pop. And, you drop them both. How do you
Yeah.
want to take them out? Are they, just cranium blown or...
Well, Bill is not going straight for the kill. He's still not quite there in his mind to be a killer. So he probably tried to disarm them or wound them or something like that. But at this point, he's just shooting in their direction, and the bullets probably hit them. Maybe lethally, maybe not lethally. Bill tries not to think too much about it, but he sees them drop, and he's like, okay, they're out. Next ones.
All right. The bikers are going to spend their action to move an extra space. Since they're on a vehicle, they can move 3, but they're only going to move 2. They're going to move to here. And as they approach, they're either dragging behind them or whipping over their heads. They're holding chains, and at the end of these chains are meat hooks.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Chuck, you're up. Chuck is not here. Thugs won. All right, the 2 thugs also have shotguns, and they're going to try to shoot Roy. They have a +2 to shoot. I got
Not
it.
to-
1.
Not today, Satan. I'm dodging. My athletics is a 6.
Yeah, all right. You just duck out of the way. Or you do a cool combat roll. The 2 in the tower lean over and take shots at Big Joe. They also have a +2 shoot.
They need to see
He's
me first.
invisible.
Ah! They shoot at Bill, and they get a 1.
I'm gonna defend with it left.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother. That's a 5.
Ah.
Okay, Hector, you're up.
All right. I thought I had more time with the bikers, but I want to get out of their way. I don't want to leave Bill alone, but I think I will. I want to get into position in this tower, try to create an advantage with my provide cover for my friends as they flee. And I eventually also want to be able to figure out by myself, because I don't know that the elevator cannot support Big Joe right now, but I want to look at the general state of it. So I'm gonna first run up to the tower to get a better vantage point.
That's gonna be your whole action because you're moving 2 zones.
Alright, okay. I'm gonna wait there. I'm gonna holler to Bill, like, get into cover, don't let those bikers get to you.
The towers will have an aspect high ground. And it's gonna make it Roy.
I'm just gonna blast at the other 2 thugs standing in front of me.
Okay.
And shoot. That's a 4.
Athletics to dodge. That's a -1.
JN's quitting this game.
I mean, this is just us getting to the bad people's place. I mean,
Yeah, they're dead. You wipe them out.
It's karma.
Done.
All right, you want to move or are you good there?
Can I move up into... Well, no. Well, I didn't see Big Joe trying to push it down. I didn't see nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and run up into the tower with my trench gun.
Okay. Roy scrambles up the tower, jumping up and kind of pushing one on the side with his shotgun. You guys are now in you guys can, since this is such tight quarters, I'm going to say, even if you're shooting at each other, you guys can use fight to defend.
Okay.
And that's going to make it Big Joe's turn.
okay, having just watched Roy scramble up into the tower, his tactics are going to shift from knocking the tower down to not knocking the tower down.
That's a fair thing to do.
I appreciate that.
He's going to actually go help out the one guy that was with him on getting Pierre today, Bill. So he's going to head back over to the bikers, and I would like to create an advantage because some of them are dragging chains with meat hooks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like Big Joe to just grab some of these chains and then just like put his weight in it to restrain them, so they're like they're going to be easier to hit, I guess. Or
they'll defend with drive.
okay, and what will I be using to create this advantage? Would that be like
Fight?
a physique? Okay,
It's
fight.
not-
I'm down with.
Yeah, it's
Because they're moving targets and you gotta grab them. It's basically a grapple check.
Grappling is physique though.
Then physique.
Sweet. Here we go.
They have a drive of +5.
Okay then. All right, Big Joe with his big physique of 4.
I got a 2. I am going to invoke
Be evil.
Hell on Earth, and meat hook wielding biker gangs kind of fits that description rather aptly.
It tracks.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
laugh if he rolls 4 minus.
There is a hesitance in Big Joe because if he misses, he might really hurt himself, and that's gonna be the Hell on Earth here to get a reroll.
I love that.
Also,
That's karma.
I got a 2. Again?
So how do numbers work? Like 4 is bigger than 2, right?
I think so.
Do what the book says.
All right. I
So
already have a name. If you are.
yeah, no, I'm down.
All right. Unchained.
Okay.
well, I mean,
It's Big Joe Unchained. Let's go.
since it's Big Joe and his penchant for music, wouldn't Unchained Melody be appropriate here? Just because?
Cue the music.
Pierre, you want Unchained Melody?
Yeah, I mean that definitely goes
All right.
well with the character.
Sure, Unchained Melody. Bill.
Bill didn't need to be told twice about getting the heck out, so he's gonna go into this zone. However, would I noticeably have seen the chains act a little bit awkward, since they just kind of get stuck on something that I cannot see?
Right, yeah. For all you know, they snagged on the ground.
Oh, for all I can see, they seem to have snagged on the ground.
Well, they're kicking up all this dust. The adrenaline's pumping. Gunshots are going off. Yeah, it just looks like two of them kind of like skid to a halt.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it to fate, the name of the system. If my fudge roll is odd, I'm gonna shoot at them. If it's even, I'm gonna get into a cover position on the platform.
What if it's a 0?
I consider that even, so I will shoot. No, I said even is go on the platform, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I go on the platform.
Okay.
And I prepare to shoot.
The bikers. They want to know what the hell is grabbing them. They're gonna make a notice check. Is it opposed or is it against a...
Yeah, it's opposed by my stealth, which sucks.
Okay, well they have a notice of 2.
Oh, nice. This might be good. I also have a stealth of 2, so go Big Joe. Woo!
'Tis a tie. All right.
Wait,
Is it a
No.
tie or do they?
no,
have...
you're beating me by 2.
Oh, yes,
Yep.
I am. I got a 4. 'Cause
Jacob,
forgot to
I know
add my
you're
2.
used to losing. But
Yes,
this
I'm
one
used to
you can
rolling
win.
trash today. So beating you by 2.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let that one go. So as they kind of squint their eyes, my form comes into view.
Okay.
And now Bill feels sad.
Oh shit! It's a Joe light.
All right. They are going to. They already acted. I don't want to. Splitting them up would be weird. So I guess they're just gonna. That's it. They did their action to detect Big Joe. Tower thugs. They drop their rifles and scramble to pick up a pair of machetes, and they're gonna swing at our boy Roy. They have a +2 with fight. I got a 3.
Is this required to defend with fight, or is athletics?
No, you can do athletics.
Athletics. You want to hop around like a baseball playing ninja. I got a 3.
So that is a tie. I will take the boost. So you just kind of like slide between them to get to the other side of the tower. And I'm going to create a boost here. First, let's recolor it to be white.
They've got the high ground.
Boost, no wiggle room.
Oh,
Okay.
Hector.
Alright. So, what I'm proposing right now, I'm gonna shout at Roy and Bill while I get my M1913 Springfield rifle. While I get it ready to aim at the thugs in the tower.
It's actually an M1903. I got that wrong.
03. Perfect. I'm gonna correct that. That's done. I'm gonna tell them, get on the elevator. I'm gonna stay here with Big Joe until we can join you guys. Or we're gonna create a diversion if we can't. But I stay with Joe. And he's gonna shoot at the guys fighting with Roy, trying to carefully pick out his target. I'm gonna just roll shoot, and that's a 2.
They're going to defend with drive.
That's not the bikers. That's the guys in.
Oh, my bad. Then they're going to defend with athletics. So they got a 0.
So that's 2 damage.
Yes, that is 2 damage. I am
Unless there's a property to that weapon, I didn't have.
No, there's no property to that.
Perfect.
I'm going to invoke the dangerous road. Because Roy is intermixed with them and it's such a small space. Right when you have the perfect shot, you're gonna hesitate because you don't want to hit Roy, and they're constantly shuffling in this group. So that's gonna give them a +2, which will give them a tie, which will give you a boost.
All right. God, I wanted to buy time. Time is what I wanted to buy, so I'm gonna use a token. I'm prepared for war. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know where to aim, and I've been fighting with Roy for a long time, so they're gonna die.
Okay. Going off of the same kind of principle before, they're going to use their boost, no wiggle room. Once again,
Well, they're gonna use their boost so that Roy's gonna finish them. That's gonna buy time.
Okay, so they're gonna use their no wiggle room, so that they bunch up with Roy so much that there's literally no shot at this.
I probably hurt one of them, grazed the 2 of them, which created an advantage or negated an advantage they had over Roy, which is fine with me.
Okay, I mean, you could take a shot, but it misses and like it ricochets. So something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just be just something like under fire. What do you want to call it?
Oh, okay. I wasn't asking for an advantage. I'm sorry. I just thought negating the boost they had was. I was trying to narratively explain it.
No,
if you want to give me a boost, it's I've got a beat on you.
Well, okay. Yeah, you're tied, so tying gives you a boost.
Mechanically, you had a boost because you're at the top.
Okay, yeah. Beat on you. It's gonna
beat on
be
you? Okay.
the boost.
Oh, yeah. So you have a boost. There we go. Roy.
I'm blasting him.
Hey, batter.
Nope, no bat. Shotgun, point blank. And hopefully, if this roll goes well, I rolled a 5.
Oof.
They're gonna defend with athletics, which they have a +1 in. I got a 2.
More like bleed on you.
All right. Well, how do you dispatch these 2 homies?
I mean, I level the shotgun down at them, and they go to dodge, and I felt where they were dodging, and I just shift one way, and I blast right through one into the other.
Oof.
Knocking him over.
Yeah. And Wilhelm scream as he falls.
Yes.
Fucking Wilhelm scream.
And then shades appear on your face you don't know from where, and you say, "Hasta la vista, babe."
No, he says, "Thanks for dropping by." Yeah!
And then I'll go ahead and hop down out of the tower.
Okay.
I mean, not literally. Hop.
Right. All right, Big Joe, you're up.
Okay, Big Joe, seeing as he still has the chains, is going to attempt to take the chains that he's holding to swing them at the bikers on the other side.
Right.
So this is going to be a fight attack.
Yeah.
Which I'm
They're
super
gonna
good
defend
at.
with drive.
Which they're super good at. That's a 1 for me.
I got a 4.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat that one.
All right, Bill.
From my little cover place, I regret fleeing now that I see that Big Joe is actually helping me. I shoot at the bike.
Okay. They're gonna defend with drive.
Oh, I'm not gonna beat them. Oh,
You got a 4, I got a 6.
He can use my Unchained Melody, correct?
You can invoke it, yeah.
It would also make narrative sense. I mean, Big Joe's
Yeah.
holding these chains, so.
Yeah.
yeah, it would bring me to a 6, which would give me a boost.
It's not worth spending a fate token to get a boost.
Oh, that's right. They have I thought they had a 4 drive. My bad.
They have a 5 drive.
No,
so they got a 6.
I'm
They have 5 drive.
gonna let it go.
Alright. The bikers? The bikers who aren't grappled, the other 4, are going to descend on Big Joe with meat hooks. And that is going to be a fight, of which they also have a +5 in.
Well, I can't really dodge because I'm holding bikes.
Well, you could.
Yeah, I'll try fight. Might as well.
Okay. They got a 7.
Okay.
Ouch.
I got a -1.
Alright. Well, that's 8 stress unless you got something.
So I already have a severe consequence, so I can't take
Well,
6
you-
point.
Well, yes. But you remember all your stress boxes are empty, so...
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my boost to Big Joe because one of those bikers actually missed his hit because I was
Well, hang on.
Provi-
How does you having a beat on them make them miss?
providing covering fire. Like the guy, I don't know, I hit his motorcycle, broke it, whatever.
So after Roy deals with you guys, you swivel and you take a shot, and as this guy's throwing his hook, you kind of hit the chains and it causes it to miss.
The way I see it is all of this lasts more than 6 seconds. A round is narratively wider than 6 seconds.
Yes.
So yeah, I would provide cover fire for all of my friends on the battlefield.
So you're gonna shoot one of the hooks out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to save his life
All right,
and give him +2.
I'll allow it.
Okay, so that brings me down to 6. Cool. So I am still going to take a moderate consequence, and you know what? I'll take a mild consequence and take my 4 stress box.
Okay.
And the consequence is going to be called "No, you're a hooker."
Oof.
Oh,
However, they are going to move, and since they have you hooked, you move with them per their stunt. It's called Dinner to Go, and
Takeout.
if they hit somebody with a fight attack and they move, not only do they move with you, but you take 1 stress to your. You basically check off your 1 stress box.
Sweet.
Basically, they drag you,
physical?
and you kind of go rolling into the next zone as the hooks kind of come out of you, and you've lost your grip on the other 2.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah. All right. So Hector, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot at the bikers.
Okay. You got to defend with drive. Oof. You got a 0.
I rolled a 0, and
got a
I'm gonna
1.
reroll that.
I got a 1.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Okay.
I'm prepared for war. I know how to shoot a gun.
You've shot bikers before. Well, actually, no. This was
I
one with.
did. Oof. Wow. And no, that's my sniper. Shit.
Okay. So
+1.
you're beating him by
That's,
1.
yeah.
Okay. You take out one of the bikers.
I'm gonna create a stunt.
No, you're.
That-
Oh, you're gonna create a stunt. I thought you said create an advantage. I'm like, well, you already acted. No, carry on. You have a stunt
Yeah,
slot open.
I'm gonna create a stunt. I mean, I've shot a lot of bikers these days, so once per fight, I'm gonna allow myself to either reroll or give myself a +2 to any shoot roll. And I'm gonna give myself a +2 to take out more of them.
Ooh, that seems a little powerful.
So just a +2?
No, I mean just in general that seems powerful. Once per session.
Fight. Or,
Once
scene. Yeah, I did say fight. But I figure we never have more than 1 fight per scene.
You're basically giving yourself once per fight. I get to use a free fate point.
All of my other stunts are once per scene plus 2 to a roll. So
Yeah, but
I
it's usually
figured-
limited to a specific scenario.
Yeah.
I get to roll empathy at a +2 if I'm specifically trying to help somebody recover from a stress consequence.
But it is a fight. Like, do I have to be more specific in a fight to get a bonus? I mean, I'm shooting at somebody. It's
If it was just against bikers, would that be more applicable?
I wouldn't.
How about one
Create
of, one
that
of the
stunt.
one of the stunts in the book? Uncanny accuracy. Once per conflict, which is what you're looking for, stack an additional free invoke on an advantage you've created to represent your
do
time
have-
to take aim and line up your shot.
Against targets that have caused a consequence to one of your allies in this fight. So if somebody I know gets hurt, I do get this chance to reroll or give a bonus of +2 to one of my attack rolls. It's like an Avenger feat.
Right,
It's like,
right. Okay. Now that you're adding a qualifier, I'm more inclined. Okay, so
Yeah.
once per conflict, if an enemy inflicted a physical consequence on an ally, you get a free invoke of.
That's perfect. Free invoke of an aspect that could help me in the fight. Like,
Or how about a. Yeah, we're getting there. Hang on. A free invoke of your aspect striving for peace, prepared for war.
all right. Okay, I actually like that, so I'm gonna have to work if I want to invoke more than once. That's
Right.
perfect. I'm gonna call it something, but I'm gonna
Something to do with vengeance or avenging.
probably retaliation shot or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna keep
and
it simple.
it does say to, and then finish it with a shoot roll. So it's got to be tied to the shoot roll.
It is tied to the shoot
Okay,
skill.
yeah. You can use that stunt now.
Yep, so I can actually damage, well, +2. So 2 more of them are downed, I hope.
Yeah, that works. Okay, Roy. It's your turn.
Well, I mean, shit. I'm gonna go ahead and step into the zone with Big Joe,
Big Joe. Okay.
and I'm gonna blast me some bikers because that seems to be working. So,
Okay, they're going to defend with drive, which they now only have a +3 in.
oh well, good.
Ooh.
That's
You got a 6. I got a 4.
I'm going to invoke Hell on Earth because they came in and they saw this dude with a trench gun just dropping fools like crazy, and that's that adds a little bit of intimidation factor, and it's giving me a +2, but in my brain it's giving them a -2 because they hesitate a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I am going to invoke the Dangerous Road as a group of murderous cannibal bikers. They are the living embodiment of the Dangerous Road. And even though this situation is hell, this fight is hell, they will stare it in the face.
Okay. I'm completely good with that.
So you're going to take out 2 of them.
Yep.
There is now un biker.
And I'm done. I'm good.
Big Joe. You're muted?
Yeah, I just realized that. Now that there's only one biker, Big Joe is going to try and grab the chain and do what he attempted before, just kind of whip the biker into the ground or off his bike.
And you're doing an attack?
Yes, this will be a fight roll against
Okay.
whatever they
Gets
want.
his drive,
Nope.
which is now down to a +2.
Shit. Okay, here we go. Come
You
on,
got
Big
this.
Joe. I got this.
Big.
With a -1.
Oh!
Big -1. I mean, the way I've been rolling, he might win.
Womp.
No, I got a 4.
Nope.
Okay. I'd have to double spend stuff.
You can
Okay,
use
hold on.
Unchained Melody.
I'm gonna use Unchained Melody, which will get me to within 1.
Yep.
And then I'm also gonna stack that with just so damn big because he's a 15-foot boy.
And he carried a truck that he ripped in half earlier.
Yeah.
He is the best of both.
The truck.
All right. How do you want to take out the last biker?
So with this hook in him, dragging him, he just kind of grabs the chain, digs his heel into the ground, which lifts him up. And when he's on his feet, he now kind of plants his weight into it. And there's like a momentary like tugging of the chain as the biker kind of like flips back, and Joe just swings it around and throws him like he's doing a hammer toss.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the guy just flies off screen, and then Big Joe just turns away from where he went and just dusts his hands off. All right. Yeah, that's him. He's done. All right, that's that.
Okay. Sweet. We managed to get here, and we all have pretty much one fate token. Going good. Going well.
Chuck and share.
Hector's gonna try to assess how much weight the elevator can get and how best to get everybody down underground or deal with the situation if we cannot.
And while Hector's doing that, Bill is not as inclined to check the integrity of that elevator or that platform. He's going to say, like, everybody in, the distractions. At least that's what Bill assumed. He's going to peek over the edge.
All right. Bill,
Yes.
when you peek over the edge, you see this 100-foot deep, kind of cone-shaped, getting smaller as it goes down, pit. And built into the pit's walls are openings. Kind of like when Sauron was digging up the ground. I mean, when Saruman was digging up the ground at Isengard. And there's tunnels, and there's all these scrap metal platforms, and there are a series of scrap metal cranes with chains on them that they used for transporting things from one side to the other. And hanging off of one of these chains is a brazen, red-clad colrathi flipping about, sailing through the air, slashing at people as they run up. But that's not all. As he kind of swings, George of the Jungle style down and cuts a guy, he starts coming up to the next chain, and you see something that you can't really. You for a moment you're like, that must have been just me thinking that happened. But then it happens again when as he comes to the end of his swing, the next chain down the line moves by itself towards him. So all he has to do is just kind of let go and go whoop. And when he does, there's this kind of flash of pink dust. And he's literally going circular around, changing elevation as needed, just kind of like swinging slash, swinging slash, swinging slash. And all of you hear echoing out of this hole through the gunshots and screaming, "You are no match for me, cannibal fiends! Ha 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 ha!"
He's quirky.
Bill, if we had more time, Bill would actually tell Roy, and you think he was not a valuable ally, but he doesn't have time to say this. Instead, he repeats, "Get off the elevator, now's our..."
Sorry, carry on.
I'm gonna make my way over to the elevator. reloading as best I can as I go.
Okay.
I'm assuming a dwindling supply of shells.
I'm
Big Joe
also.
will. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, PR. No, you.
No, you went first, technically. So.
Well, I'm assuming we're gonna need 2 trips of the elevator, basically out of character. So I'm gonna stay behind, provide cover for whatever Big Joe's doing.
So you're gonna stay in the tower?
For now, yeah.
Okay.
Just for clarification, just so I can keep going with my compel from earlier, is it clearly like visible that this elevator will not hold Big Joe? Like even if it's just Big Joe?
I think if Big Joe like puts one foot on it, it'll start just like, and you're like, oh.
Okay, so we'll say for brevity's sake that he does go over and starts to do that and just gingerly like dipping his toe into the water. He starts to see, and it starts to go, and he's like, I don't think I can fit on this, even if it is just me.
Then I suggest you start like walking back to the vehicles and make yourself as scarce as possible. And Hector's gonna join the others. Like, I don't like tight spaces, but we need to do this.
Oh, okay. I mean, that is one way. I'll figure something out. You guys start the party without me. I will be down shortly. I hope.
Perfect,
Just-
Big Joe.
Just as long as you remain safe, my friend.
With our group, that is not something I can promise.
That's a fair thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
We will. If you come down, we won't let you behind. We won't leave you behind. So don't.
Stay safe, stay safe.
All right, we are transitioning to a new scene with a new aspect: Underworld realized.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Hector, you're staying in the tower?
I know I'm gonna follow down. I mean,
Okay.
they need my help also. I'm gonna follow the rest of the group. Gonna go help Pierre.
Yeah, he needs it.
I feel like he has the situation well in hand.
All right, as you guys come down to the lift, there's like this like crank, almost like the steering column of a ship, you know, that you kind of have to turn to get the thing to lower. And passing by you guys is Pierre. He goes, "My friends," and he's gone again. "So glad to see you," and he's gone again. "I believe," and he's gone. "I know
I
where the
believe-
girl
We have to be ready for.
is being
whatever
held."
Where?
As he goes by the next time, both Bill and Roy are, where?
Alright, and then on his next pass, he leaps from the chain, tumbles next to you guys, and grabs the thing that stops you guys, which push you all flush against one of the levels of this underworld complex. And he's like, "You must go that way. They held quite a few prisoners. But be warned, their leader is there. I can distract him for you, or you can face him alone."
Bill's gonna turn to Roy on the.
I mean, how could we do this without you, Pierre?
"Very well." He takes his hat off. "I shall defeat this man." He puts his hat back on. "Onward!" And he charges down the path he told y'all to go.
Just as soon as he's barely out of earshot. I mean, I would be afraid that he's going to get himself killed, but hot damn.
I hope he has a lot of pink powder. We're gonna need it.
Well, I feel we owe him to help him. Let's go.
Yup.
In honor of Pierre, le charge!
An attack!
Alright, as you guys are running down this corridor, which kind of bends and twists, and it goes into the earth, so you're no longer up against the pit itself, you guys pass one of the supply rooms, and Hector casts a glance down into the doorway, and he receives a compel. because inside the storeroom is what appears to be bottles of liquor. And I'm going to compel his away with the fairies, moonshining moonshiners, to divert from the party to stock up on some alcohol.
Oh yes, I'm gonna do that because that's gonna be useful down the
Yep, so-
line. I'm actually gonna signal the guys. I found something. I'll catch up. I'll be right there, and he's gonna stuff as much as he can, probably slowing him down and making him late to the next fight.
Bill's like, what? And then he sees Pierre disappearing, or at least escape, kind of turn a corner. He's gonna be like, shit. He's just gonna follow Pierre.
Following Pierre.
I'm also gather some
Got you, Big
clothes to do the same thing I did last time, but I'm gonna make sure that time that I keep some of the liquor for myself. But yeah, I'm gonna stock up.
All right, so Bill and Roy, you guys arrive at what appears to be this kind of penned-off area, like almost like a jail cell that's rather large. There's a single man standing in front of it, and off to the side, you hear like shouting and fighting, and you hear the and you hear a different voice going, "You come back here, you puss in boots, son of a bitch!" So the one guy, the one guy there, he has opened this cast iron kind of door, and he's grabbed the woman, and he's holding her like in front of him as a shield with a gun underneath her chin, and he's like, "Y'all piss off, or I start executing people starting with this last."
And we're seeing that. Well,
No, you're
I'm
not there. Yeah.
They are.
And that's our cue. Step in.
Bill?
Bill is gonna point his gun at the guy, obviously, like that's the natural thing to do, and is gonna try to tell him that's not a smart move. The moment you got that shield off of you, you know what's gonna happen.
Okay. Roll rapport versus 2. Alright, you succeed with style. And he's like, "Oh shit, I hadn't thought of that."
You know what? Let her go. Walk off. Will not have seen you. They will.
How do I know I can trust you?
Well, it's 2 against 1, and you're stuck in a corner. All we want is the prisoners. We'll be on our way. We have no reason to kill one more of you guys. We only want.
Okay. Lower your guns.
I'm gonna lower it, but like still in a ready position, but like at the ground, just in case he raises his weapon. Then I'm back.
What about Roy?
I'll lower my gun.
Okay. He pushes the girl aside and then bolts for another passageway.
I let him go.
Okay.
I don't. No, yeah, I do. I'm just. Yes, I do.
I want to compel your murderous asshole aspect.
Yeah, he really was that asshole aspect.
That's like every aspect.
It's my secret. It's my secret aspect.
Secret aspect. Been
My
lying in
secret-
wait.
Everyone knows it.
Oh, since we're on a new scene, I get to refresh my my fate tokens.
Damn it.
I thought you forgot too.
Oh, I didn't need him yet.
Okay, well, Bill knows that this guy might call for reinforcement, because after maybe a few minutes, he might realize, wait, wasn't I supposed to guard the prisoners or something like that? So Bill's gonna tell Roy, we don't have time to waste. Let's get these people out like ASAP.
Okay. So there's a half dozen prisoners. Kind of split down the middle, 3 and 3, male and female. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, are you guys from the barony?"
Yes, we are.
"Oh, thank goodness. We're from the barony too, but there's some other people on the opposite side.
How far?
He points. He's like, like on the opposite side of the pit, on this level.
We need to get you guys out. Is Debbie Shane part of this group?
One of the women pushes past the guy. And he's like, "I'm Debbie Shane."
Miss Shane,
Perf-
here's directions back up to the lift. Go. We're going for the others. There's going to be a Joe light up there. Don't be afraid. Don't attack. He's with us. He'll help get you somewhere safer.
Joe Light. Okay. Come on,
Tell-
everybody,
tell-
follow me.
Tell him that Roy sent you and
that you're
tell
Debbie
him
Shane.
that you're Debbie Shane.
All right, Hector. As you're filling your satchel with alcohol bottles, you're about to turn to leave when you hear someone whistle behind you. And you spin on your heel, and there is this Mad Max-looking dude holding a Molotov cocktail already lit, and he winks at you as he throws it at you.
Ah, karma. Okay, I'm gonna try to dodge out of the way.
Athletics?
Go ahead.
Okay. It's gonna-
Fight.
Athletics.
I don't have athletics. I'm gonna try to use fight, of course.
No.
I'm supposed to be
athletics.
able to defend.
No, this is a ranged
shit.
attack. You're not being... He's not running up
Okay.
and punching you with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch on fire. That's a 1.
Okay, I was going to set the difficulty to 2, so you're failing by 1 here.
Well, you compel me, so I'm not gonna get taken by my own trick. I hold the lightning in a bottle. Not that guy. I'm either gonna try to catch it or
Well, I think if you
bat it out of the way with
think
my
if you-
backpack.
if you had succeeded with style, I would let you just catch it out of the air. But with just beating it by 1, you're going to roll clear as it smashes and ignites everything behind you.
Yep, and I'm gonna charge the guy next opportunity I get.
All right. So you tumble to the side. The Molotov explodes, lighting all the supplies on fire that you didn't grab. And you kind of get up and you brace to attack when suddenly a guy you don't recognize rushes through the entrance and bull rushes the guy to the ground. And a woman you don't know, but the audience knows as Debbie Shane says, "Come on, let's go!"
Let's go where? I mean, have you seen? Can I infer does she look like a hunter from the barony and just from
She
looking at her?
doesn't
can
look
I-
like one of the savages that you're fighting, and she appears to be with the man who just kind of tackled the guy out of the way.
Yeah.
And as you're sitting there trying to debate, one of the bottles in the burning pile just kind of explodes in a burst of fire.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's gonna start running, but he's gonna turn to the direction Bill and Roy were going.
Bill and Roy, were you
before.
moving with that group? Just gonna pass.
Yeah, since we're going on the other
so yeah,
side.
you guys meet up with Hector.
Ah, perfect. I had to stop. I found some resources. I'm gonna start working on a Molotov cocktail, and I'm gonna wink at Roy. I found all of this. He's gonna show a bottle.
We don't have time for this. There's more prisoners.
Let's move.
All right. So as your group gets to the lift, on the opposite end, on a higher level, one of the JCC has set up an M2, and he pulls back the receiver, and he levels it at the level. And Debbie spots it just in time to tell everyone to scramble to cover as a rain of machine gun fire just kind of peppers the platform.
I got the M1 Garand, so I'll look at Roy
Hang
and
on.
say,
What, Big
oh.
Joe?
Yeah, can Vic Joe see this?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So the audience does, well, they probably may know this as I did PM you or direct message you through Roll20. So while this has been going on, Big Joe has been collecting the bikes near the edge of the pit and seeing this random machine gun fire. He's just going to reach down, pick up one of the bikes, and hurl it at them. I'm going to try to make an advantage that he's having to dodge incoming motorcycles being hurled at him.
Okay. What skill?
I'm hoping just it'd probably be fight.
No, throwing it would be shoot.
Okay, sweet. I will roll with shoot then.
Okay,
Which I have
challenge
nothing
2.
in. Okay. Here we go. I have nothing in this, so it's just a straight fudge roll. Here we go.
Well, it's nerd roll.
Perfectly average.
Yeah, so I'll just fail with that first one as his motorcycle goes careening over the edge towards him.
It's not an easy angle.
All
I'm
right,
throwing
so
motorcycles.
yeah, so everyone kind of like scrambles, and then like the camera, we kind of see like half the frame is everyone behind a wall, the other half is like the opening out into the. We see the machine gunner, and it's kind of like you see the muzzle flash, and then this motorcycle falls.
I'm gonna turn to Roy and say, "You think you can get the prisoners? I'm gonna provide."
Let's go.
And at that, Bill is just gonna like try to use the little cover he has, peek to one side, shoot at the guy, hide when the bullets come back, peek up, shoot at the guy, try to just like make him stop shooting, make him hide as well, going in an exchange of fire. So at least it's gonna lower the amount of fire coming.
Okay, that's going to be an overcome challenge 4. Because you're using a Garand versus a machine gun.
I'm gonna use. I'm gonna see if one of my aspects would work. I'm gonna use no bullshit. Bill doesn't want to let go of these prisoners if he can. He did tell Roy, I'm gonna provide cover. He's not a liar. Screw you. He's taking his time to aim properly and make the bullets ricochet around the guy so that he...
Okay. So
And not a fight.
you sufficiently pin the machine gun guy. And Debbie says, do you got enough ammo to keep him pinned while we get up the lift?
I would say I have a few clips, and then M1 Grand, I think it's 5 bullets, so I would say 20-ish. I didn't use any going down. I used a few up there. How fast the lift?
Not.
1 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
All right, well, I assume Roy is wasting no time. Hector, are you going with Roy?
Yeah, I'm gonna advance, get a better vantage point, and if I can, I'm gonna try to shoot them up also. But I figure they're too entrenched for me to do that.
Okay, so Hector's going to join Bill with the shooting.
That would help with the bullet.
Roy, the man
Yeah.
alone.
That's fine.
Yell for us if you need help.
So I should roll shoot, right?
Sure.
That's a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So with Hector and Bill both like taking turns exchanging fire, you guys will suppress this guy long enough for Debbie and crew to get up the lift. All right, Roy.
Yes, sir.
I need you to make an investigate roll to see if you can navigate the twisting corridors and dead ends to actually find the holding cell without anyone directing you. It'll be a challenge 2 with investigate.
All right, that is a straight fudge. So, here we go. That is a 0. That's a 0. That's narratively a 0.
Okay. Roy.
Mm-hmm.
You're lost. I'm gonna create a new situational aspect.
Oh no!
Can I help?
No, he didn't call for help, so you don't know he's lost.
Nope.
Plus, I mean, you're also shooting at a guy to keep him covered.
Yeah, I'm moving with him though, but yeah, okay. He got
No.
far
No.
ahead
You
of
can either
himself.
shoot, you can either help me shoot, or you moved with him. You can't be both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You stopped the suppressed machine gunner to help the people get up the lift. So Roy
Yeah.
went off on his own.
Yep.
All right, okay, so he did. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Captain Action.
Captain
Yep.
actioned him way into a dead end.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So, Roy, you find
Yes.
yourself in unfamiliar places in some kind of crazy human anthill. And
Yep.
because you're the lost soul and you're a little disoriented, a large man shoulder checks you into the wall and your shotgun goes flying to the ground. And you
Okay.
turn to see a man who's a head taller than you, rippling with muscles. And he cracks his knuckles.
Baseball bat.
All right, we're going to have a little 1v1 here with Lost Soul
Bring
Roy.
it, Tiny.
Okay.
1v1 me, bro. 1v1 me.
You will go first.
All right. I am gonna swing for the fences.
Okay. He's going to defend with fight, of which he has a +4.
Okay. That is a 0.
I got it. I got a 0.
That's a 0. Okay. So that creates an advantage for me, or a boost rather.
No, that's just a fail. However, I'm going to spend one of these here tokens to use his aspect, which is Undertown Bruiser, to reroll.
Okay.
Oh no!
So I got a 3.
Okay.
Actually, no, you would have been dealing 4 damage because you were just trying to hit him, right?
It was a 0 to 0.
Oh, 0 to 0. So you would have had a
Yeah.
boost. So instead, you just
Yeah.
miss.
Okay.
All right, his turn.
Yep.
He's just going to try to just boom, just haymaker you in the face.
Yeah, and I'm gonna dodge with athletics.
Well, you can use fight if you want,
I'm better with athletics.
but this is a fight situation, so I think you're gonna have to defend with fight.
Damn you!
Yeah, you can use athletics to invade guns and stuff.
Oh, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Okay.
So he got a 5.
And I rolled a 3.
So that's 2 stress.
I'll take the 2 stress.
Okay, you're around.
I'm gonna swing again at him. That's a 4.
And I rolled a 4. So you want to boost?
Yeah, I'll take a boost. What would be a good boost here?
Here comes the haymaker.
Hey, batter.
Oh yeah.
Full count would also work.
Ooh, full count. Yeah, I like that.
How do you spell batter? Is it 2 T's or 1 T?
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 T's.
2 T's.
All right. His turn. He's gonna try to sock it to you, baby. He got a 4.
I got a 0.
Man, you're really not
That-
having any.
That is
That is big oof territory.
That is big oof territory. That's a -3 on the roll. So, I'm definitely going to be spending a token to re-roll. I just don't know what I'm invoking here.
Could use your boost if you can justify it.
As a re-roll?
Yeah, I think you can use a boost as just an invocation, but I can double check.
It
Oh.
is. It
I
is
thought
linked
the boost
to
was
an
only-
action also. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to hold on to the boost. I'm going to invoke... Ooh! I'm going to invoke Lost Soul. Because he swung at me, and in my attempt to kind of block, I accidentally stepped to where there was a slight hole in the floor here, and actually wound up like ducking when I was trying to blocking.
Okay.
There's
gonna be your
my
fate?
fate token.
Yep. So that's going to bring you up
And-
to a 2, so you're going to take 2 stress.
No, it was a re-roll.
Oh, it was a reroll. Carry
Yeah.
on.
Re-roll. That's a 3.
All right, you're taking
Wow,
1
that's a good-
stress.
I'll take 1 stress.
Okay, you're up.
I mean, I'm gonna swing again. I have an idea for next. No, I'm not gonna swing again. Where did my shotgun land?
Not too far away.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna try to
I'm gonna hustle
steal
over.
second.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal second. I'm gonna slide into.
All right, that's gonna be an overcome opposed. You're gonna use athletics versus his fight.
Okay. And I rolled a 3.
And I rolled a 4.
And I am gonna use my boost of "Hey, batter, batter" because I'm trying to steal second, and that's clearly a baseball reference.
I'll allow it. All right, so you got your shotgun. So you kind of drop your bat and scoop up your shotgun, and as you turn around, he's right there going for a right hook.
Yep, that's fine.
You got a 6.
Can I defend with shoot?
No,
I'm kidding. That is a 3.
Okay,
I'm gonna take the 3 stress.
Okay, your turn.
I am all out of stress boxes. All right, I'm blasting this beefcake in the chest.
And the chicken salad sandwich. Okay.
Yep. That's a 2.
Since you're right there, he can use fight.
You son of a bitch.
But you beat him by 1.
Okay.
You can't use fight to defense against shoot.
In close quarters,
but
you can.
He's literally right up on him.
Yeah, in close quarters. Okay. We've ruled that many times before.
In fact, the last fight we ruled that when they were all in the tower.
That's what confuses me the most. Sometimes we rule it out.
Right. Well, it's just okay. Yeah.
It's not a problem.
If you're close enough to punch the guy, you can use fight to defend.
I have no problem with that. I'm just saying.
Okay, so he's gonna tick his 1 stress box.
Yep.
And then he's gonna try to punch you again. He got a 2.
That's a 3. He has a +5. Doesn't he?
No, he's had a +4 this whole time.
Oh, I thought it was a +5.
No.
Okay, my bad. That's.
No, I can't save you from bad rolls.
Nope. Well, it was bound to catch up with me. So
that's 3 stress.
Hold on.
Oh, you rolled all 4.
On.
Minus.
Hold on.
I'm holding, and I'm on.
I'm going to take a free invoke of Loaded for Bear. Because as he swings at me, just gut instinct, I block with the shotgun, and he breaks it.
Alrighty.
Yep.
And I'm going to reroll.
Okay, you're going to reroll. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Smart. So it's now 2 versus 2. He's going to take that boost.
Yep.
Could the boost be called Loaded for Bear?
Bared for load?
Boost. Bear unloaded.
So cheesy.
Alright, you're up,
I like it. Okay. This is a shit situation. I need my bat back. Did I drop it right here?
Yeah. You can just scoop it up.
Let's scoop up my bat. And I'm going to fake him out. I want to like faint. I want to
You're trying to create an advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
I have never tried to create an advantage before. What do I do with that?
Well, you just roll fight in this case because you're doing a feint, and it's opposed by his. I'm gonna say it's opposed by his notice.
Okay.
Because he's got to detect that you're feinting.
Yep.
And he doesn't have as high notice as he has fight, so he has a +2.
Okay. My fight is a 4.
My roll is a 2, so you will create an advantage.
And that one has 2 free invocations, right?
No, just 1.
That advantage is called Curveball.
right, his turn.
Oh,
He's kind of like sizing you up, and then he's gonna go for a left-handed uppercut.
okay.
And I got a 2.
And I am invoking
So you got a negative
curveball.
1.
I got a -1. I would say that's a full neg roll. I'm invoking curveball and re-roll it.
That's your second full negative.
Yep. I got a 2.
All right, that's a 2 to 2. So he's gonna use his
Yep.
bear unloaded.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's a consequence, right?
That's a minor consequence, right?
Yeah.
Or mild?
Mild, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it.
All right, just call it bruised ribs.
Okay.
And then it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to use a stunt.
Okay, I believe you.
My stunt is seventh inning stretch. And I'm going to ignore this consequence for the duration of the scene.
So he doesn't get his free invoke?
Yep, can't be invoked against me.
Wise decision.
And I'm gonna know when my hand isn't worth playing anymore.
You're gonna
And
concede?
I'm gonna run.
Which
I'm
means
not
you're gonna concede.
Is that conceding? If I'm trying to specifically lead him back out to where the guns were, I'm going to try and
You're trying to you're being this conflict is ending with your defeat. That's what a concession is. Like I give up.
Okay, yeah. But I get to we negotiate the terms, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My negotiation for you is that you're going to lose this guy, but you're going to get yourself even more lost, which will give me a free invoke on Lost Soul.
My negotiation in counter of that is that yes, free invoke of Lost Soul. I do lose the guy, but he loses me too, and he's not going to be able to find me again.
Okay, this guy's gone. This big meaty bruiser's he will never show up again.
Okay.
All right. So Big Joe, the 6 prisoners have now come to the top of the lift, and they quickly rush off, and they all look at you, but they all remember that they were told by Roy that the Joe-lite is friendly.
He's going to say, if you're running back here, take 3 of these motorcycles, double up, and drive. I need at least 1 more.
They're like, okay, everybody, come on, let's go. And the one that we know as Debbie turns to you and she says, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if you don't mind just going so this isn't moot. Also, we will have things to talk about later at the camp. You will have to repay this favor. Anyways, and then he's going to pick up the motorcycle and then, ready it to throw at the
machine gunner?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is going to be another...
Are you just trying to take him
roll.
out?
I don't know if I want to take him out, or would creating a wall of fire that would prevent him from getting to the machine gun be an advantage, or would that be taking him out?
No, you can create an advantage to deny him the machine gun.
Okay, sweet. That's what I would like to do.
Since that's all this character's were, we'll just call it an overcome. You're just overcoming his position.
Sweet. Once again with a shoot.
3.
Okay. Here we go. My
heart's beating.
That is
2. Okay. I can work with that. I'm going to invoke free thinkers are dangerous. I'm throwing a motorcycle at this MFer. It's position, not at him.
Alright, I am going to get rid of Loaded for Bear, by the way, because you used your last invoke, so it's gone.
So yeah, I would like to give a +2 to that roll with my free thinkers are dangerous, thinking outside of the box to overcome this machine gunner.
Alright, so how do you do this with the motorcycle?
So picking up the motorcycle, he just aims in front of the machine gun, throws thing in this motorcycle that's end over end before striking in front of it, and gas tank explodes.
scattering wreckage and gasoline all across. Probably knocks out the actual turret itself.
Yeah, okay. All right.
As exploding motorcycle right beside it.
So for convenience sake, Debbie kind of threw if you just kind of throw this thing, it'll start descending on its own. Like you throw the wheel. So she did that before jumping off. And now it's starting to climb to the bottom, and I'm going to compel our boy Bill here.
No.
I'm compelling your bark and no bite. Now that the lift is here, you're just gonna trust that Roy got him, and you're getting the hell out of here.
Sorry, I missed the end.
You're getting the hell out of here. You trust that Roy has this situation in hand. Between him and Pierre, surely you rescue your comrades.
Well, I have no other choice to accept this compel. So yes, when the lift is in, I'm simply gonna not even say a word to Hector. I just get on the lift and I push the lever to go back.
Well, you start cranking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Hector, what are you doing?
I'm gonna start running in the direction that Roy went, and I'm gonna tell Bill, like, make sure our way out remains safe. Make sure Big Joe and you guys also are safe. I'll be right back. I need to find Roy. And he's gonna start shouting, like, Roy, we're getting out of here, you
And
big oof.
as Hector's walking away after saying this, Bill is gonna say, "Yeah, that's totally what I'm doing, providing cover from the high ground."
Make sure to send it back down.
All right,
Daddy would for sure.
Hector, just as you're about to leave this kind of opening, you hear the swinging of a chain, and Pierre lands next to you, and he goes, "My friend, someone has to stay here and defend, or else they will cut off our escape."
How many have you seen? Are you sure? Because I'd rather we all make it out of here alive.
And it's all right, but I shall do it. And he plants his sword into the ground, takes out some dust, throws it over him, and as it descends down on him, his outfit starts to change. It goes from this flamboyant, kind of mismatched musketeer outfit into an equally mismatched, disproportionate, but the cowboy boots remain cowboy outfit. Complete with 2 pistols. And he draws them and he's like, "Now go, friend! I'll cover him."
You, my friend,
and then
are sure impressive. And
he steps out to the center of the opening and just goes, "Yeehaw!" and starts shooting just kind of haphazardly across the chasm.
He's Yosemite Samming it?
Yeah, basically.
So instead of Pierre, should we now call him Yosemite Pete?
Willie Pete.
I wanted to call him Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. From Pierre to Pilgrim. All right, Hector, give me what kind of role would that? Would investigate qualify to find our buddy here?
All right, that's what I rolled to get lost.
Sure, I'll do investigate then.
All right. That's a roll of 2. I got lucky.
Okay, that's a tie at a cost.
Sure, I waste. Oh well.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
I know what the cost is. All right, so you find Roy.
There's also a giant meaty man running behind you.
No.
I'm back.
You find Roy, you're now both lost.
Quickest wardrobe change in all of Neosoma.
I haven't found him yet.
I think I missed a part to somebody cut off because
I haven't found him yet. We should split up. Let's not do that, actually. That's horrible.
do I have the map? Like, I'm not gonna find our place on the map, but
No, the map's on the hood upstairs.
Yep, that's right.
Let's. I think we gotta find him, and we gotta find him quick because there is the biggest corn-fed son of a so-and-so I have ever seen. He broke the trench gun with his fist.
He's gonna look at Roy and be like, he looks battered, so alright, let's... Do we even know where he is exactly?
I lost him somewhere that away.
With my role of investigation earlier, could I, actually still retrace my steps and remember that it's supposed to be on the opposite side?
Well, you guys don't actually know
Or
where
where
the cell is. You could retrace your steps back to the lift, but you don't know where the other pen is.
But I want to go opposite to the lift from where
Well, make another
I can
investigate roll.
retrace my steps.
Difficulty 2.
Alright. I need a token.
Alright, so you're going to succeed at a cost. And the cost is someone's going to beat you there.
Well, I need to succeed, so of course.
Alright. So you guys find this kind of wider opening that has the pen. But sitting down on a stool, you see this kind of bald-headed, clean-shaven guy with a tattoo on his forehead that says Fugitavis. And in his lap is a Tommy gun with a 100-round drum. And he's got a kind of like a bandage over one eye. And he's like, I had a feeling you guys would come. As he stands up and kind of grabs the two grips of the Tommy gun.
He has bad perspective. Attack!
Time out.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time. I'd pull my shirt up and be all bruised up and like just be. I don't got time for this. I don't have the patience for this. You don't have time for this.
It won't take much time, he says as he levels a Tommy gun at you.
Look.
If that bought me half a second, that's the half second I needed to shoot.
Okay.
If I can, I mean. Okay, I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, I'll let you get one shot off, then we'll go into initiative.
And that's a 3.
He's going to defend with notice since you're kind of popping one off on him. He's got a +2 in notice. I got a 2.
That's gonna grace him.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a stress box on there.
Important question, Roy and Jakin. Since Roy got out of his battle, does he get his stress box out, or is it still part of the same scene?
Same scene.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's in a big trouble.
Now
Perfect.
we're going into initiative. It's gonna go Roy, this guy who had yet to introduce himself. Thank you, and then Hector.
I mean, I figured you were doing a diversion so I could shoot him up. He wasn't actually gonna let us go.
I don't know. He was having a pretty bad day.
Well, I didn't know, so
he had this little demon musketeer killing all of his men.
And when you have a bad day...
Oh, no. All right, Roy, you're up.
Are you still doing striptease?
Get him, Roy.
Aha! Dive
I don't have a gun anymore.
It's true. 0 guns.
I have precisely 0 guns right now.
You have one baseball bat.
I have a baseball bat and also no stress boxes.
And no. All right, you know what? I'm gonna throw you a bone. Here you go, Captain Action. Your compel is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually.
That's his compel.
I'm gonna compel grasping at past glory. You are down for the count. This is it. you look through the bars and you see the survivors who've been traveling with you. Some of them have been traveling with you for a full year. And you're like, this is my moment. It's him or me.
I wonder, will I accept this compound?
I also do.
I'm going to charge him, and I'm right for that tattoo.
Okay.
Damn it.
That's a good
That's a
fight
6.
roll. That's a solid fight roll. He has a +5 fight. So that's a 2.
He rolled a 2.
Yeah. I am going to I'm going to invoke one of his aspects, and this aspect is called King of his Anthill. You have come into his house, and he will be damned if you just slap him across the face without him even getting a chance to retort. So I'm going to do a reroll on that. Well, now it's a 3. Damn it. All right, we'll take some stress here.
No, not yet.
I was on my machine gun earlier, so that would have been 2 more damage. God damn it, it's forgotten. Next time I won't.
Am I good to go?
Can you really carry the Springfield and the machine gun, though? The machine gun's pretty freaking heavy.
That's a fair point.
And you didn't have time to go back. I mean, maybe you could carry like one of the pistols or the revolvers.
I probably would have exchanged, because a sniper rifle in a cave.
Yeah, but you never had the chance to go back to the vehicle. So you have the sniper
vehicles
rifle
were
on your
far.
back, and maybe you have like a revolver.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
machine
there
gun's
you
kind
go.
of like a. In order to carry that around, that's a committed effort.
The revolver makes a lot of sense in
Okay.
those spaces, so yeah,
I appreciate you conceding that to me.
easily.
Am I good to continue?
Yeah. So where are we? You did a 6. I got a
4. You got a 4.
No, I got a 3.
Oh, a 3. A 3. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
A 3. I'm going to invoke with that fate point I just got. Former minor league baseball player, and this is
The home run.
Like you said, this is bottom of the 9th. Bases are loaded, full count. It's me or him. I am absolutely swinging for the fences with his skull,
Okay.
and it's a +2.
That turns into an 8. You're beating him by 5. All right. This guy is going to check his 3 stress and going to take a mild consequence.
Which I think he'll be able to call upon.
Yes, after this action. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's going to be called Domed. Let me go ahead and give you a boost, Roy. Since this guy is the only guy here, we'll just... Here you go. Boost. Domed.
There you go.
Alright, his turn. He is going to just he just gets clocked in the head, stabbed in his back, and then kind of spins into it. And as he's spinning down, he's just holding down the trigger, going, ah! Bop, 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 bop. And he's going to shoot at you, Roy.
Ouch.
I'm gonna hit the dirt. I'm dodging.
Okay, using athletics.
Yep.
Alright, he's got a +4 shoot. I got a 5.
I got a +4 athletics. I got a 3.
Well, Roy, I'm going to return the favor, and I'm going to use the free invoke of your lost soul.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be more internal than external. You have been... You're supposed to be the leader, and you've been tearing me apart, Lisa! And in that moment, when he spins around and the machine gun starts firing, and you hear all this noise and the echoes rattling off the cage, you're like, oh my, I'm gonna let everyone down. And that's just the time he needs to hit you.
Yep.
So that plus he scored a 5 is now going to turn into a 7. So you're getting hit for 4 stress.
I don't have a 4 stress box.
Okay.
I don't have any other stress box to fill.
Okay, so let's talk about consequences here.
You have a boost. That's the only thing you have.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Can you take multiple of the same category of consequence?
No asterisks. You can take 2 mild physical consequences if your physique is 5 or greater. Other than that, no. You can only take once that category is pegged.
Now, hold on.
I'm holding on.
Well, this wouldn't be a mild one anyway. No, because I would say I'm currently ignoring my mild consequence.
Right, for the scene. Yeah.
Right, for the scene. But so here's the issue.
If you fill your moderate, that mild one's going to escalate.
Oh no, I've got the mild bruised ribs. I've got my moderate former adventurer. And I've got my severe I can breathe clearly now, the pain is gone.
Okay. So you have 2 options here. None of them good, by the way.
Yep.
One of them is you get your 8 box. Your 8 consequence.
Yep.
Which is so bad that it replaces one of your normal aspects. Or you can declare you've been taken out. At which point, I get to decide what happens to Roy.
Roy's taken out. It is narratively appropriate. Roy is taken out.
I was kind of hoping you'd go for that just because it adds so much to this story.
Oh yeah, I feel the suspense right now.
I should hope so.
Oh yes, I do.
All right, let me know how you feel about this. Let's workshop this.
Okay.
You're dead.
And that's the
It's not done yet. I'm still here.
Is that the workshopping?
Yeah, let's workshop this.
Okay, I add the idea. You're dead, but your new character is.
No, it's too powerful.
Wait, I'll only say one quick thing about that. Is Hector is still there.
Yeah.
And that's happening on his watch, so maybe Hector's gonna die too. But right now we don't know.
I mean, hey, if you want to die.
I don't want to. I might get unlucky.
Actually, that one hit that Roy did kind of depleted him of a lot of his.
Yes, I do need 1 or 2 more. God, I have a pistol.
I need
Question.
an answer though, because you're kind of lagging up the thing here.
Can I offer?
Yes. What?
Roy does die, but he was kind of reaching for the gun to like push it out of the way, and so he gets blasted. And as he's falling backwards, he takes the Tommy gun with him and falls over the edge.
Well, they're not up against the edge.
Ah, damn it. Okay, never mind. I'll shut up and go back to this.
You could
watching.
disarm him. Yeah. I mean, okay.
It's Vegas' character.
Or how about Roy throws himself in the way of Hector and then just gets gunned down.
That would be epic. If I kill the guy after.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a very Roy thing.
All right, we're going to pass this boost to Hector. And Roy is dead.
I will remember you.
All right, your turn, Hector.
Well, I'm gonna try to take the chance that Roy sacrificed himself to give me, and oh goddamn,
All right,
I'm gonna roll a 1 on my shoot.
he's going to use athletics to try to get out of the way. He's got a +2 in athletics. I got a 4.
Yep. So I missed the shot. I guess like Roy's corpse hits me in the shoulder, and I'm taken off balance.
All right. Oh, actually, remember when I said because he's got an automatic weapon, so he actually hit you for 8, Roy. Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Did he have to roll for a jab?
No, he hit. So.
Oh,
It
it's
wasn't-
only when you
yeah,
miss.
yep, it's only on a miss.
All right. He is going to try to shoot Hector. +4 shoot. You got a 4.
So can I evade with fight, or do I have to use?
No, you're on
physique?
opposite ends of the room.
Okay.
So it's athletics or physique. You can either take the brunt or the...
I'm gonna try to take the brunt. I mean, I'm gonna try to take cover. -2. That's gonna hurt.
So he's beating you by 6, which means you're going to be taking 8 stress.
Yep. So I'm gonna take 3 physical and the consequence
A
of
moderate?
that. Yep, I have the room for that. So,
That
yeah,
still
I've
leaves
got,
1 left over, though. Unless you use Dome.
I will take out my first stress box. I can do that. My
No, you
number
can only
1.
check 1 stress box per hit.
Oh,
But you can use your domed boost to say his aim is off because he got clocked in the head.
oh, that's not my color. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use that. So
Okay, so what's your moderate consequence is going to be what's like the old gangster name for the Tommy gun? You were muted.
Chicago typewriter is what the Tommy guns used to be called.
Yeah. I don't know how to fit that into a...
Oh, I was just answering the question.
Yeah, okay, so wrong end of a Chicago typewriter. It's kind of long.
okay, since I've used my boost, I've taken my level 2 physical stress box.
No, you
instead
still
of-
have to take the 4.
Oh, okay. I thought I needed only 1. Okay, my
No, you're taking 6. Right, wait, hang on. No, you got a -2, and I got a 4. You're taking 8. So when you use the boost, it drops down to a 6. You're checking your 3 box, right?
well, I take a moderate, so that's worth 4.
There you go.
Then I
And
needed 2.
Yeah,
Is
so you're
that-
taking your 2 box.
Yeah. All right.
All right, your turn. Now remember, at any point, and except when an action has been declared, which means if I roll to shoot you, you can't do it then. You can concede the fight, and then you get much more say in the outcome.
All right. I should try one last time at least. That's after what you said. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna avenge my body. No way I concede right now. That's a 3.
All right, I got a 0.
I hope that's enough. I'm gonna walk up to him and shoot him.
Well,
I'm
unfortunately,
gonna take the rest of my clip into him if I can.
yeah. I mean, you're trying to unload on him as he's moving. You're gonna tag him. He's gonna check off his 4 box on stress.
And all I'm gonna say while I'm walking up to him is, you can kill all of us if you want, but that doesn't change the fact that we're gonna be all dead in due time unless we do something about how the world has turned. I mean, I empty my clip. If he's not dead, I'm dead. So I'm gonna concede if he's not dead.
All right.
If
He comes up, blood running down his shoulder. He throws the Tommy gun aside, and he reaches into his shirt and pulls out brass knuckles as he's walking up to you. And he goes, "I like the world as it is. I'm king." And then he swings at you. He's actually better at fight than shoot. So he's got a +5.
I'm also better at fight than I am at anything else.
I got a 7.
I've got a 2.
He's beating you by 5.
And that's probably gonna be enough because the boost isn't mine. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and use the boost. So I'm doing 7 stress to you.
so that's another moderate
You
consequence.
can't take a second moderate consequence.
Yep. So I'm gonna concede the fight.
No, it's too late to concede.
Well, I'm done for.
Well, you could take your 8, which means you replace an aspect with a permanent injury, basically. Or you can be taken out.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sacrifice myself. I need to finish him off.
So you're gonna take the 8?
Yeah.
Okay. He just bashed you over the head with brass knuckles. Do you have an aspect slot?
I do. I only have. Well, I have 4.
Okay. So you're gonna fill in your 5th aspect with
Probably took out an eye.
yeah. Okay.
So like one-eyed Jack or
Long John Hector.
Yarr!
an
Okay.
eye for an eye.
An eye for a nectar.
It needs to be a pretty negative consequence. I mean, this aspect needs to be pretty negative.
Okay.
I could use an eye for an eye.
Well, I mean that can be used in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't see past your own nose.
That would also fit him socially. Maybe it's not
I
the
got-
right phrasing.
I got a pitch. Blinded by regret.
Oh.
I like that. It's not my character, but I like that.
And I've started typing. I do too.
Okay, so he just comes up, clocks you across the temple, your eye bursts, and Hector falls to the floor, and he stands over you and he's like, had enough, and it's your turn.
Well, if I concede, I'm done for. I'm
You get
gonna
yeah,
end
but
up
you
a
get to
snack.
decide how you lose if you concede. Whereas if you get taken out, it's basically up to me. And that's
I'm
how I
resourceful.
killed Roy.
I would be resourceful enough to try and do something out of my demise. So I'm gonna concede right now. Like,
Okay.
my gun is empty. I'm gonna leave everything to the ground. Stay.
Okay. What do you want to get out of
Stay
conceding the fight?
If I can try to stealthily procure something from his person, so maybe I can, I don't know, pick the lock, or I don't know. If I could get put into the same cell as somebody else and maybe try to help or save yours or get out
So
of
your
there
concession is
by
you get to live, basically? He spares you and just throws you in prison with
Well,
your friends?
if I can get anything better than that, I would. But if
Okay.
that's the best you have to offer, I would.
No, I mean we can
accept.
negotiate. I just he's got you at his mercy. He just ruined one of your eyes.
Yeah, the way I figure it, he thinks I'm almost dead, but right before he had to approach me, and right before he clocked me, maybe I could do something like reach up to him, grab something that I noticed on his person that would give me an advantage later. But yeah, I'm gonna end up unconscious in a cell or dead. Before that happens, maybe I can do something out of it. That's my point.
Okay. Trying to figure out what he would have on him that you could swipe that would be of any significance.
Well, a key would be obvious, but something
He's
like
not the guy who carries the keys.
Mhm. Well, I don't. A lighter. Well, he would
Try and take your dignity back.
Oof. Okay, yeah. How about I can give you a lighter. I don't know what you can do with it, but yeah, he'll take your lighter. You'll take his lighter.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for something better, but that's all I got conceded to me, so I'll...
Yeah, well,
take
he
that.
I can't really think of anything. He doesn't have the
Does
keys
he have a
on him.
pocket knife?
Yeah, there we go. You get like a Swiss Army knife out of his pocket. So basically, you kind of hold up your hands and surrender, and then he reaches, he pockets the brass knuckles and reaches down to pick you up, and you just reach into his vest pocket, and then just, or, you know, yeah, reach into his vest pocket and pull out that, and he's patting you down, and he pulls out the crystal.
I pull out a crystal from his...
No, you pull out a Swiss Army knife. He pulls out the crystal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
And
So,
he
what
takes
is-
off your satchel with all the booze you stole. And he's like, you and me are going to have a chat about this. Guess I won't kill you.
Priorities, right?
But, I don't got a place to statue right now, so... He just elbows you in the other temple, and it goes dark. And as we see all that from your first person, and as it goes black, that's when it's like credits. That's gonna be the session.
Yeah, a good ending point. I was gonna call it.
All right, that was that.
That was a thing.
That was crazy.
Yes, definitely crazy. So thanks everybody for joining us. That was an eventful week. Really sucks that Molly missed it, but
Can't wait to see how Chuck reacts.
Oh, but it gets better, everybody. We won't be playing next week. So to see how this turns out, you'll have to tune in the week after, which will be the 28th. So Neosoma. No, I'm talking. Neosoma returns on the 28th. See you then. What did you want to say? What were you saying?
Have a happy Easter.
Not everybody does the Easter thing, but yes.
What?
Enjoy
And you're
your
not gonna
half
tell
day.
me to have a happy one. I can have a sad one if I want.
All right.
That's right.
Well, regardless, I hope everybody enjoys your coming weekend.
Roy, have a Easter.
Have fun during Easter, no matter what you do.
There you go. Well, that was Trainwreck. So good night, everybody. We'll be back on 20th. Bye.